Hello, bozos. If you thought that you knew all Ornn matchups, you didn't. The ability patch changed everything, and I would say it's for the worst because most matchups became a lot harder to kill because everyone got tankier, heal cuts got nerfed, so Ornn's damage could not keep up with how much base damage your kid had, and had to change a lot of shit, a lot of techs, and I had to start taking ignite more and building cheaper items so I could spike faster. And yeah, I'm gonna do every matchup from top lane, mid lane, anything that exists in this fucking game. I will do all of them from A to Z. And get ready because I don't think anyone will ever do a guide like this. I have water, so this is gonna be a long fucking time. So get ready and get in your seats to learn how to fucking play like a challenger bozo. Okay? You wanna be the best challenger or bozo you can ever be. And it's gonna be really rough, but we're gonna get through it and we're gonna learn together how to play. Okay, first matchup, Aatrox. Aatrox got harder because heal cut nerfs. And when heal cuts got nerfed, that means that Ignite got weaker, and I had to change from straight up Sunfire Rush to plated steel caps. And you now take Cosmic Insight and Biscuits. You can't take any other secondary rune. You need Cosmic Insight for the Ignite, and Biscuits for the mana and lane sustain. It's still W max, attack speed, double armor. You go Ruby Bramble because Bramble got weaker, so it actually get some claws, then a Ruby, then you finish Bramble when you're like at level like 6-ish, and you'd have Bammy Cinder, and you're gonna go Steel Caps and Frostfire Thornmail because you need Thornmail really fast, and you need also like trading for a long time with Aatrox. Yes, you can go Sunfire, but for me, it's way easier way of dealing with Aatrox just to get Thornmail as fast as I can. So yeah, this is how the matchup looks. Aatrox, you wanna use your W can cancel his W and his knockups. That's pretty much the only mechanic. You wanna be careful because Aatrox can, if you ult him, you do the Ornn, he can knock you up out of your second ult, so you have to be wary of that. And every time you're in a team fight, you either heal cut him or knock him up. You always have to do one of those. Either instantly ignite him when the fight starts, or knock him up because Aatrox is really dangerous, and with his Eclipse build, the player steel caps is more favorable because you need all the armor you can buy early game. And comboing Aatrox is a lot harder because he's a lot tankier. So this matchup, actually, I would say it's a lose matchup now because it used to be a skill matchup, but now I struggle with it. I struggle solo killing him, and it's just harder because of the durability patch. This is the only thing you can do to make him actually punishable, but you can only kill him with your jungler. All you have to do is trade with your W only, because you will nuke your mana, because you don't have that much damage, because he has a lot of health. But yeah, that would be the Aatrox matchup. Your Ignite TP will help a lot, and so will Cosmic Insight, so you're only gonna fight when you have Ignite up. Because if you fight without Ignite, 20% heal cut, Aatrox won't fucking care. It's 20%, it's so low. I mean, I hate that Riot did it, but it is what it is. You have to read Aatrox, you have to know both sides of the matchup. So my best advice for the Aatrox matchup would be play Aatrox yourselves into Ornn, like get a friend to play Ornn that knows Ornn, and just know both sides. So at least you know how Aatrox has the trade patterns, how he likes to he only wants to use the Q1 without actually using the E. So, and if he does use his E on the Q1, that's actually good for you because then you can actually get a combo off. because you always want to punish his dash. Every time he has a dash off, you want to look for a null, and you can instantly either Ornn or QRE, RW, you know? It's a hard matchup. Because it used to be skill, but he'll got nerfs. What can you do? This is what you do now. You can take Sunfire if you're ahead, but most of the time I prefer Frostfire, but I'm in higher elo, so I'm usually gonna be the one that's behind or weak-sided. But if you are ahead, you can go Sunfire. And Sunfire did get buffed for tanks. It got buffed for level 15 and onwards. It's really good, but at level 13 it's nerfed, so it does less damage for you. Somebody did Ornn mains Reddit. It was some math that I was too lazy to, you know, but I just saw TLDR. Level 13 Sunfire is worse, but the more you go on, the better it gets, because you'll be building more HP, you'll be scaling, etc. Next up, Ahri matchup. Ahri is a Qmax matchup, and you want to take Unflinching Second Wind, double ADMR. Ahri is a matchup that she has a really strong laning, and if you play Ornn mid, she will bully you a lot, way more than you'd expect, because you just assume, oh, it's a silly mage, right? But she has the best laning phases out of all mid laners. I don't think I've fought a mid laner other than Azir that would poke me more than Ahri did. This is a spellbook matchup and a Qmax, because you should be so safe. The only time you can actually kill her is pre-level 6, which Ornn is not really known for good kill potential. So, yeah. I mean, she has her ult, which can cancel your ult, because she can just dash all around the place. But, I don't know, she's really rough. Her charm can cancel your E, because it cancels dashes. It can cancel your second ult, and her ult has 3 charges, which get restored by 1 every time she kills a person. So if you're with your jungler, and she kills your jungler, she will get 1 extra dash. So you also need to count that. But if she has ult up, like, even if you ult her, there might be a slight chance, if you slightly predict it, you can still land your ult, because the hitbox is so, you know, wide. But she's a rough matchup. You want to take, as soon as you get Frostfire, you can maybe kill her, but still difficult. Akali matchup. Akali, I take Ignite TP, because without it, you can't really kill her. And this matchup is about killing Akali faster than she kills you, because at level 6, she can murder you from like full. Like, no matter how tanky you are, Akali's base damage is too high. You want to make sure that you don't let her proc passives on you, and she doesn't get her E. And the way she doesn't get her E is you hide behind the minions, because if she gets her E, she's gonna nuke your health bar. You want to take Grasp Second Wind. Nothing about this matchup changed, other than the Ignite, and taking double MR, because she is really strong. If she has no dashes, no ult, and no E, you can do the combo. You have to wait the cooldowns out. If she has her Shroud, you need to instantly get out. Don't let her proc passives on you. Don't let her E you, because if you do, she will kill you. She's, I would say it's a skill matchup, but it's kind of difficult, because if you're fighting a good Akali, you'll have a rough time. You only want to eat Q poke without the auto attacks. That's your best case scenario. You trade with like QW and she Qs you, and that's it. That's how you would win trades. Because if she gets autos on you, she gets energy back, which is bad, and she also does extra damage, which is also bad. So she can do her combos. You wait out her Conqueror stacks. When she gets Rift Maker, she wins the 1v1, but after you get Force of Nature, you win the 1v1. Because Force of Nature is the most broken MR item in the game, so yeah. Next matchup, Akshan matchup. Akshan, I've changed it, and you go Qmax, because Akshan, you know, fights from range, and he's really annoying. And you want to take Spellbook, you know, all the normal runes, Overgrowth Second Wind. You want to take AD, because you're going Qmax. So your Q does more damage early game, and double armor, because Akshan has a very oppressive early game. He likes to put you under tower and dive you with your jungler, so you want to survive that. You want to go D-Shield, Warden's Mail, Bammies, and then you get Frozen Heart. See, the reason you get Bammies is because it helps with your clear a lot. It helps, fighting back Akshan's Q2 autos, wave is dead push. And then you're gonna get Frozen Heart. So it's Wardens, Bammies, Frozen Heart, Frostfire. Akshan hates Frozen Heart because his autos are like janky and they're weird. And it really fucks up on Akshan's, trading if his attack speed is slow because he already has shit attack speed. Like, he attacks very weird. You don't want to stay near walls because he can grapple hook E and, do magic grapple Valorant spin around you and murder you. You can also use E on your pillar and your tower. So you can do like a fucking full 360 spin. He's really hard early game, but it gets easier the more you go on. You can only punish him if you catch him with Q, and the Q is a lot more ahead of him. But a good Akshan will instantly E as soon as you Q, because he'll know that you're about to combo him. You want to wait out his shield after he gets his passive proc, like a PDA proc, because it's a shield that's too big to break, and Ornn doesn't have the damage to break it. So the best way to break it is to just wait it out or disengage if he gets it. You can kill him at 6 with QR and an Ignite if you have poked him, like I'd say one Brittle trade. It's a volatile matchup for both. Until you get Frozen Heart and until he gets Kraken, that's when, kills can happen. But with this build path, you shouldn't die and should have enough kill potential to murder him. So just watch out for he's going to Q the wave level 1 and then he's going to get level 2 on you and he's going to grapple hook. That's always going to happen. So what you want to do is literally stay at tower so you don't get your health bar nuked. Because the only way Akshan can win this lane is level 1 cheese into level 2 advantage by Eing on you. You're half HP, no potions, and then jungler comes and you're level 2, Akshan gets a kill, and you have to force CP, your wave pushes back, you get jungle ganked again and again and again, and eventually Akshan has 5 kills, you're 0-5 and worthless. Alistar. There was a high-low Alistar player at some point that would just knock you into tower. I mean, if you do fight this matchup, it's really easy, but somebody said to put it, so I'll put it, just out of respect. The only way an Alistar can kill you if he does QW you into a tower. It's like a shitty singed. You'd go Sunfire Abyssal, but this is an easy matchup. Like, you go Armor Marcus, Alistar, that he deals no damage, no D-Shield, just full scale, who cares. Annie, if you fight Annie mid, Annie is an immobile mage, which you can punish really easily. You go Q-Max, Spellbook, you take Unflinching because of her stuns, and Second Wind. And Unflinching did that get nerfed, so I would actually consider into champions with like stuns, like I would say Overgrowth, since, Riot decided to take away every power from the resolve tree. I would say Overgrowth is slightly better. And you take D-Shield, Ruby Crystal, No Magic Mantle, Frostfire, Force of Nature. Same shit with Anivia, immobile mages. But the thing with Anivia is you can E her wall, and you can take Glacial because she's immobile, so after you CC her, she can't move. And you want to watch out for her QE, because her E hurts a lot. If she Qs you and then E's you, or ults then E's you, the E crits. So you want to make sure that you don't get slowed or stunned, so her E does bonus damage. And her W can deny your E. So your E can deny her W, but her W can deny her E. Because if she W's first, then you E. If you E first, then she will W you and stop you. And you'll be kind of like stunned for a second, because Ornn Z kind of gives you a status mode, and it's just a weird interaction where Ornn just can't move, even though you're not doing anything. You just got stopped by a wall. But yeah, it's both of these matchups play out. Most matchups play out very similarly. In mid lane, if you hit Q, they die. If you don't hit Q, you get poked to death. So that's the general play style. For Annie, you watch out for her force stacks, and for Anivia, watch out for Q and W. Those are the only aspects of this matchup that matter. Both build paths are the same. Ruby Crystal, Null Magic Mantle, Bammies. Because you need HP as an early stat, and then you get Magic Resist as, you know, a later early game stat. So they both, you know, complement each other. Next matchup, Aurelion Soul. Aurelion Soul is a matchup that is based on wave clear, and he will try to perma roam away. And he's kind of a melee champ, so I would consider going Grasp, since you want to be in his face permanently. And you go double AD, Magic Resist. Aurelion Soul doesn't do that much damage. And same build path. You want to make sure to stay inside him, like a Darius. But Aurelion Soul just wants to push and leave, because there's no way you can kill a tank. And what you want to do is, you want to push harder than him and make him not leave and kill him. He can ult your E, that's one insect, but you can also W his ult. So he isn't able to do that. So if you do your Q ult to E combo, he will try to ult you away. So be wary of that, because he can push you out of your dash if you come too close. But I'm pretty sure an Aurelion Soul will never know how to fucking fight Ornn, because nobody expects the Ornn mid. And I'll be doing an unranked 2 Masters with Ornn mid soon, because I feel like Ornn mid is a good pick, but it's kind of forgotten. Which is why I have the matchups here, because soon, you know, people will need it. And yeah, so you'd go Grasp in this matchup because, you know, of how melee oriented it is. Next matchup is Azir. Azir is a matchup that I hate. I hate, because it pokes you so much. But I started stopping to do the Warmogs rush, so I will take it out, because it kind of, you know, it kind of amplifies, you know, bad gameplay, right? And I don't like that. Okay, it makes your laning kind of worse. So you should get used to surviving without it, because it will make you into a better player, right? And you go double ADMR, because you go Q max. I would say if you struggle, you can go only 1 AD and 2 MR. But if you don't, I don't struggle that much with a poke. I go double ADMR, so I can, you know, so I can be able to poke him out of the lane. Aurelion Soul is a hard matchup that will put you under tower. You can W his ult, and you can also E his ult. So if he ults you, you can use his soldiers as a knockup, which I love about these, you know, like Anivia, Azir, these people that make terrain, because I can use their shit against them. And it's really fun to see of how they're like, you can counter their whole ultimates with 2 spells, and you don't even need the Q, which is really nice to combo them. Be careful of the Azir shuffle, because he can shuffle you under the tower, and that would be bad. So if you engage in him, like when the wave is here and you're here, he will push you into the tower, and you'd kind of die. So that's the only way he can kill you, or if he pushes you into tower and pokes you. Because Azir doesn't really kill by, you know, all-ins or like that. He just pokes you to death, and then he does one final all-in and kills you. So if you get too low, just recall. You can W his ult and punish when his E is down, his shield. It's a long cooldown. Bel'veth. Bel'veth, I would say, is a very annoying new champ, because she has 4 dashes, which she can use all 4 of those to dodge your abilities one by one. You have 4 skill shots, so she can use 1 dash for each skill shot. And you go D-Shield Wardens, Bammy Bramble Tabby. That's the only way you kill her early. She's gonna go like Bork or whatever the fuck. You build every armor item you can, because the only way you're gonna kill her is with Grasp. Like, I know it sucks, but she has 4 dashes and a knock-up, which you can W, which I recommend you do, because it's kind of a long knock-up. And you can stop her E with your Brittle. The E will still have the damage reduction off on her. It won't stop the damage reduction, but it'll at least stop the lifesteal. So CCing her E will stop her from healing off the wave. And if she has all her dashes up, I would recommend just walk up and Grasp, but hold your spells, because she will dash literally all over the place. She's a very confusing champ to fight. You can only kill her by stat checking her with armor items. So yeah, save your W for her W, so you can actually guarantee, because she'll be standing still when she Ws. So your W will hit her, and you won't be knocked up. And then you can brittle, and then you can Q, because she'll be knocked back when you brittle. So it's kind of a way of guaranteeing. But your E, you should only ever use it when you're near a wall, because if you Q and E, it's never gonna hit. She's just gonna dash somewhere. She's a very odd champion. She is kind of an anti-tank, but I felt like she was gonna be much harder than she should have been. But if you just go Wardens, Bammies, Bramble, Tabby, you should be fine. Should be fine. Just hold your spells, be patient. You have to be very patient with Ornn. Next matchup, Brand matchup. Brand matchup, he's an anti-tank, and he stuns, and he's annoying, and he's a son of a bitch. But nobody plays Brand. But he can get quite annoying if he gets Liandry's and Demonic Embrace. So you need Force of Nature, pretty soon. And Frostfire you need for the kills. And you go double AD because you go Qmax because he's ranged. Don't let him proc 3 abilities on you or you get a circle that he can also use to spread to other champs. And his ult bounces off of himself. So if he ults, step away from everything. Get isolated as soon as you ulted. You literally are going to quarantine yourself, or else it will spread to your team and everyone will start exploding and getting damaged. Because when you play tank, you have to also think of your team. In team fights, he has no dashes, thank God. He's an old champion, so you can punish him easier and you can, make his life hell with a jungle. Like, if in mid lane, most of the time you're going to get a lot of kills with jungle because you have such good, gank support. And you always want to put the lane under your tower, so you want to always play with the jungler. Because in mid, Ornn, under tower, under enemy tower, you can't really kill. And they're ranged, so they'll probably be able to farm pretty safely from you, and you won't poke them like a melee lane in top lane. If you face them top lane, though, you can put them under tower, and then you can call it jungler, because mages aren't built for top lane, thank God. So yeah, Spellbook, Magical Footwear, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight, Unflinching, still nerf, but you kind of need it versus Brand. Because if he EQs you, then he's going to W. And if you're low enough, Unflinching can actually just get you out, so you can E away. You can E away from his W if you're fast. If you have like low ping, you can do it. Camille matchup. Camille got slightly harder after durability patch and heal cut nerfs. And by slightly, I mean it got a lot harder because, Divine Thunder damage did get nerfed. That is good. But the healing got increased, which is bad. You still don't kill Camille. The only way you can kill Camille is if you have 3 fucking items and she has only Divine. That's the only way an Ornn can solo kill. That would be like 10,000 gold versus 3,300. It's still bad, but like you'll die less in the lane. I feel like bump plating is good into Camille, and overgrowth, makes you be tankier. And I use the Wardens, Thornmail, and Mythic. Thornmail because of Divine, and the healing gets so much that like if your team doesn't have heal cuts, she will never die. Never. She will become so fucking tanky. You can W her E, and you take Ignite TP as well, because the healing from Divine is so insane. Like, it's such a strong item for survivability wise. The only way you can ever, make Camille dead is either with Ignite or Thornmail heal cuts. Because without those, you're a fish you're dead in the water, okay? You wanna let her shove into you. If you both have ult up and you're melee range, you wanna let the ult come back to you. And you don't wanna press R2 because she will ult your ult. So none of them will hit, not the R1, not the R2. You take armor and HP because the way this build path is going is you're kind of scaling, but you're kind of not. You're mostly utility. You can kill a Camille a lot with Ignite though, so that's good, right? Just make sure to force trades with bump plating, because what people misunderstand about bump plating is like, oh, she W's you and then bump plating is gone. Yeah, the thing about bump plating, you're supposed to think with the rune. You're supposed to actually engage before the rune comes up, So it comes up mid-trade. And when she has Grasp and her Q, bump laning will block like 2 instances of that. Same shit with her W. It will block the inner and the outer. So it blocks a lot of damage, and it also blocks true damage. Bump laning is the only thing that can actually block true damage. It does say in the wiki it can block it. Because bump laning is a shield. It's not a damage reduction, it's a shield that's, casted upon you. So yeah, it's good. With this path, I have struggled much less into Camille's, and good Camille's, and most Camille's are going first strike now, that's kind of good for Ornn because you can actually punish her early. But if you face Camille with Grasp, you have to play safer. If she has first strike, you can get probably level 1. If she doesn't and she has Grasp, just give it. So yeah, hold your ult for her ult. W her E so you can get your brittle off. If she gets a shield and it's a physical shield but you have a brittle, proc the brittle because the brittle is magic damage. Like if she gets a magic shield though, don't proc the brittle because your auto attack will do like 30 damage, and the grasp is magic damage, so it's not worth. You just wait it out if she keeps trading on you. Cassiopeea is lose matchup, I would say. I mean, even, sure, you can go even, but if you go even into Cass, you're kind of losing because she's a mage that kind of outscales, like, her kit, if she's played well, if she has, like, Flash and Ghost, she will be hard to catch, hard to fight. You can only survive if you have Force of Nature, which this is the only lane that I would ever consider a Force of Nature rush. It would seem troll, maybe into Karthus too, Karthus top lane, but Force of Nature rush, I would say, is underrated, especially because it will proc so fast. Because she will Q E. She will literally spam shit at you. She can grounded. She can make your champion grounded, which would make you not be able to cast ult or E. So that's bad. So you get out of there really fast. And you need to basically ult. When you ult, she will ground you or ult you. So you need to walk away from her. Because if you walk towards her, you'll get stunned or grounded. This matchup solely just relies on that. Whether you are patient enough to know what cooldown she has up. So if you ult and she starts running towards you, she will stun you or ground you. So you run away until the ult comes close to you, so you can actually press your ult. And you'll both be stunned. So if the ram is coming, you will both collide, right? She will stun you, but you will knock her up, so it'll be kind of a stalemate. But that's good, because then you can Q and E. So yeah, this is the matchup. Just play around her W. If her W is down, kill her. But if her W is down and her ult is up, as soon as you ult, as soon as the ram comes close, look away, and boom, matchup is done. You've won the lane. Next matchup, Cho'gath. I actually like Cho'gath matchup because you can go overgrowth and you can take precision secondary with fucking the mana rune and the tenacity rune, presence of mind, and this way you actually scale a lot. You will get MR, armor, HP, you'll have tenacity for his W, and you'll have presence of mind for mana. And take MR and the HP to scale, and you go Sunfire Abyssal because Cho'gath will hard stack MR, he'll be tanky as fuck. So you wanna reduce his MR, and Abyssal gives you MR for each magic resist you steal from the enemy. So you'll both scale, right? You can W his Q, and that's about it for the matchup. Just W his Q. That's it. I would say you could go Mercs if they have a lot of AP. But if Cho'gath is the only AP, you don't build Mercs second. Like if he has only Cho'gath with CC, it's not worth it, right? But if you do, this will lower the kill pressure from Cho'gath from him being to like walk up to you and stun you. If he's AP Cho'gath, you should go Mercs like after Bambies instantly. But if he's tank, you can like sort of whittle your way into Sunfire. Just be careful of his level 6. You can see if he used Feast recently by checking on his tab, and you will see that he has a stack up. So you'll know that, wait, he didn't have a stack up earlier. He probably used it on Krugs or Gromp or something. So you can always know by checking his tab whether or not he has it up or not. Next matchup is Corki matchup. Corki is a matchup that relies around his W. He will try to poke you out of lane and scale. If he uses W, you can combo, straight up ult, call jungler, call jungle like, kill him, kill him, kill him. But how do you blow his W? You simply just do Q and E after you get 6, and as soon as you get 6, you will look for a kill, same like in an R matchup, because it's such a long cooldown and it's so punishable. Every time you want to be baiting his W, every time. What a good Corki will do, a good Corki won't use his W when you E him, and he'll just take it like a man and keep farming and keep poking you. But a bad Corki will instantly W because he'll be scared of Ornn. The build path would be Ruby Crystal, Null Magic Mantle, take AD, Magic Resist, and Armor. You take Armor. I mean, Corki still does 20 to 80 like damage spread, but early game most damage is physical because you'll get minions and tower, and so it's better to take mixed defenses than just fully stack on MR, because early game the MR won't matter too much. It'll matter later on, but survive the poke, bait his W, and try and farm well. Darius. See, last time I said Darius became almost impossible. No, it is not impossible. Through the power of sheer perseverance and commitment and confidence, I have made this matchup into win. You win. You win. No matter what you do, you fucking win. Okay? Okay, maybe not win, but like skill. Okay? I might be getting too ahead of myself. But I came up with this when I was in North Macedonia. Okay? I was in my sleep wondering, man, Darius is so fucking annoying. I never have the damage to kill him. I cannot get away from him. 12.10 killed me. I have no heal cuts. I have nothing. What do? Phase rush with Inspiration Second. Inspiration Second. Why? Cosmic Insight with Ignite TP, and you take Ruby Bammies to proc the phase rush. The build connects itself, and Scourge got buffed. So, Mana Flow fixes mana issues. Transcendence, scaling. Scorch, lane poke. 3 points in the Q for the early game, then you max out W, E, and then you finish off the Q. And it makes so much sense. And magical footwear, so when you build Ruby Bammies on a Thema, you will always have boots. So you don't need to spend the gold on it. You don't need to waste the money, because you will get the free boots. You take Frostfire, and you'll be CC reduced. Your Bammies will proc Phase Rush with Auto Q and Bammies. That's 3 instances of attacks. They'll proc your Phase Rush, so you don't need to ever W his pull, because as soon as he pulls you, you will Q, auto attack, and start running really fast. And then you just get away. And you can use Ignite as a heal cut, as damage. And the matchup becomes fucking winnable. It is winnable. Even after durability patch. You can win. Can fucking win. I came up with this in my sleep and it works. It hasn't failed and it's good. I hate Darius. But after this, I still hate him, okay? I don't like Darius, but like, it's doable, okay? So, Sorcery, Inspiration, Cosmic Insight, Magical Footwear for the Ignite, and Magical Footwear for the build path that you're going. It fucking works, man. It works so well. I love it because you will always have kill potential, because Ignite will go to 2-minute cooldown. You know how little 2 minutes is? For every ult, well, it's 150 seconds. It's 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But for every time you ult, you always have Ignite up. Always have Ignite up. So you'll be able to kill Darius every 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So that by 9 minutes, you'll kill him 3 times. Or 2, but you'll get a good lead. Into Darius, after durability patch, when he's considered the most broken top laner in the fucking game. Because he stat checks you. It's insane. So yeah, 3 points Q, Ignite TP. Make sure to get used to how to use Phase Rush, because how to use Phase Rush. For every 3 attacks, 3 different attacks, you get a move speed boost and the slow reduction. Or fucking, like, you don't get slowed. My English is scuffed, but so as soon as he pulls you, you're gonna auto Q, your Phase Rush will proc, you run away. And then you can W him from afar, your Scorch will poke him, the matchup will be good. And you can use your Ignite in level 6, you will kill him if you poke him hard enough. And Scorch did get buffed a little bit, so that helps as well for poking him. You don't take... if you do QW, you can E away, and then you'll get a move speed boost as well from the, Phase Rush. So he won't ever be able to catch up to you, even if he tries to. Like, if you QWE and he goes after you, you'll be Phase Rushed. So you'll kind of just run away a little faster. So yeah, it's winnable now. It's winnable. Yeah. So, but if you are overextended, you can still die. But if you are overextended, do not try to run. If you know that Darius will catch you, try and fight it melee with your Bammies, okay? Ruby Bammies, whether it's Ruby 2-pot, just in case, somebody would go crazy, okay? And you always get refill first back on literally all of this. Always get refill because, you can craft in lane, Dota mechanics. So, yeah. Darius matchup, fixed. It's fixed. Forever. Next matchup is Diana. Diana goes Sunfire. You can't kill her. Well, now Sunfire got nerfed for her, so I mean, if she goes that build path mid lane, but most of the time she's a jungler, you're gonna take second win, double MR, Frostfire, First in Nature. Her W, if the 3 orbs, do the thing. If they hit all 3 orbs, the shield resets, and you can't break it. Again, your tank, not a lot of damage. Who cares? Who cares about tanks? Nobody cares. But yeah, if she Qs you, she will get 2 E stacks, and she will basically be able to dash in or dash out or dash in twice and kill you. So don't let her Q you, and don't let her, just keep track of her E cooldown. And her W is the main, defensive tool. So don't get baited by that. If she doesn't use W, do not get baited, because she will have it up. You take second wind, because, she might poke you, but usually what Diana will do, she'll just Q the wave and try and hit you as well. Because she'll curve it, right? It's like a C. She'll curve it and try and hit you. And, second wind's good on tanks. It did get nerfed, but, the flat amount got nerfed. So it got nerfed for people that don't stack a lot of health. So you'll still get the 3 plus 4% missing HP. So it'll be kind of, it's still alright to go, but still, you're nerfed. Because fucking Riot hates you. Riot hates tanks, Riot hates bruisers, Riot hates the resolve tree, Riot hates you. But hey, you pull through just being a decent player. Next matchup. Dr Mundo. Dr Mundo. You take WQ max, because he's tank, and you take Ignite TP. This matchup, nothing really changed. I would say, as soon... with Ignite, Mundo can't heal, so, that's kind of fixed. He did get nerfed, which I found kind of weird, since I never really struggled with Mundo. I would prefer you be leashless versus Mundo. You are gonna leash, but, you're gonna be weak-sided. It's a tank matchup, but try to leash as little as possible, so you get prio level 1. Just do, 2 auto attacks and leave instantly, so he doesn't, cleaver you while he has priority with E, because you don't want to let him get level 2 first. If he gets level 2 first, he'll be able to whittle you down and kind of weaken you. You want to go D-shield for the Q. Cleaver, and then you want to get Bammies and Swifties. Swifties is fucking insane, because you move around so fast, Mundo won't be able to catch you, and yeah. You want to take Frostfire if you want a team fight, or Sunfire if you want a 1v1. Take Biscuits and Cosmic Insight. Cosmic Insight is a rune that completes your Ignite, and it allows you to go boots after Bammies. and it lowers your ignite TP. Lowering your ignite TP cooldown is important, especially on top lane, because you'll actually be able to, have a TP advantage on Mundo, and you'd always have ignite up for every fight. Because as soon as Mundo ults, you ignite him, he heals for nothing. Yeah. So I've done this tech into Challenger Mundo 1 tricks, and it works really well. Next matchup, Ekko. Ekko is a matchup that you want to be wary of his third attack and his Q that turns back. You don't want to get hit by it. You can also redirect his Q that comes back. So if it's going to come back, you can E and it will redirect to him, to his location every time. So you just want to make sure that you punish him every time he tries to CS. It should be easy enough, okay? I mean, Ekko isn't really a tank killer or anything. He just has a slow and a stun. Like, he doesn't really hurt you. Like, you should be able to get away scot-free. Just don't let him proc his third attack on you. Treat him like you would treat any melee, but he's a lot weaker than most melee champs you'd fight in top lane. So I feel like Ornn would just stomp Ekko. Yeah. So don't get hit by his third attack. Be wary of his Q that turns away, and his W shield, you can't break it. So if he W's you, just like walk away, because it'll be useless. Also, thing about Mundo, I forgot to say, your Q can actually make his passive go away. That's the most important part, the passive. But the thing with Mundo matchup, with his passive actually works against him here, because it actually allows you to kill him, because it will do more damage than what your brittle would do, which is nice. Fiora, it's a permaban, man. It's a permaban. I'm not even gonna go into detail. You can go Ignite TP, Bramble Vest, Frozen Heart. Those are the only things that counter her, but like, I fucking CBA with Fiora, man. Fiora is just not worth my time. Like, I would rather permaban her and deal with everything else than just, fight her, because she's just so annoying. Like, she is the most annoying champion for a tank for you to face. Like, she counters your whole kit, whatever, right? I mean, you can stomp her. You can in lower elos, but in my elo, like, I would rather fight a Darius 10 times than face a Fiora once. I will go to the ends of the earth to not fight Fiora. Fuck this champion. Fuck her existence. Yes, you can go a lot of techs. These are the techs that I would go if I would fight her. But honestly, man, just no. Just no. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to do it. I don't like it. Like, her W counters you. Her passive counters you. You can't reduce it. You can go Frozen Heart, I guess, to reduce how fast she procs her true damage. But it's a lose matchup. Why would you bother to win a losing battle, Just accept that the battle is lost and go next. Or banner, which is what I do. I've been doing it for years. I've been banning Fiora before I even played Ornn. I've been banning Fiora just for the sake of banning Fiora, because I used to play on really shit ping, and timing her W with high ping was just like a bother. So like, just fuck the champ. Who cares? But this is what you would go if you would fight her. Okay, you would hug walls. You would cancel the brittle auto attack, and you try and survive. She is stoppable if she's bad, but if she's good, she would go Grasp and Divine and Hullbreaker, and she'd permanently split push. How do you think a Ornn will deal with that? You don't. That's what a good Fiora would do. Grasp, Divine, Hullbreaker, make your life hell. Next matchup. Fizz matchup. Fizz is actually, he can actually kill you. You take Grasp, and you take MR and HP, because you want to try and skill, and take Exhaust, because he's an assassin. And what assassins do, they kill your carries. So you want to wait out his E cooldown, and his Q can like dash behind you, and you can like dodge your spells with it. So you want to wait out his cooldowns. You want to trade with W. You can W his R knockup, but that's it. Not really worth doing, because his ult is probably going to be either the start of the fight. If it's the start of the fight, you W. If it's the end of the fight, just take the ult and walk away. Take exhaust because again, assassin. Be wary of his E cooldown and punish him when it's down. That's the playstyle for Ornn against most matchups that are like mobile. So yeah. Next matchup, Galio. Galio is a matchup that he likes to roam around a lot. And when Galio likes to do perma push backline waves, ranged minions with Q, and he autos them, and he just perma pushes you in. But you don't want to let him do that. No. With Ornn mid, you keep him locked in lane. You can W his E, so you don't get knocked up, and W his ult, so you also don't get knocked up. Which is, it's fine. Just ping his roams every time he moves, and be wary of jungle ganks because he has a lot of CC. A lot of CC. I would actually consider going, instead of conditioning overgrowth, I would say precision secondary with presence of mind and tenacity would probably be better than, inspiration because you want to get boots early if, if you're roaming a lot. In mid lane, boots are pretty important. So roam, keep wave pushed, and match his roams if he does, because plates on Ornn aren't very useful. I mean, you can get plates, but like, you can get plates if you trust your teammates. Most of the time, you shouldn't. Okay, never trust solo queue teammates. Solo queue teammates are cuckoo, bird's nest. Gangplank matchup. I feel like it's fine. You're gonna go 3 points into Q. And then you're gonna max W because it is kind of a range melee matchup. It's kind of a mix. And then you're gonna finish off your Q after you finish maxing your W and E. So only 3 points is enough in any matchup that is melee ranged. So like a Jace, a Darius, like matchups that are like kind of in it, kind of not. You're gonna take Ignite TP. Ignite makes it so you can solo kill him a lot more. Spellbook makes it so you have, a lot more versatility in the lane. So you can like swap to flash, or you can swap to heal or exhaust, or even better, you can swap to clarity if you run out of mana, which is, it's cool. I like spellbook. You're gonna go D-Shield into Anathema, into Steel Caps, into Frostfire. This build didn't change too much. I haven't really struggled to Gangplanks. They can take stopwatch. So, be careful of that if they do. Gangplank got nerfed for, tankiness. So, he's easier to kill. So, it's an easy matchup, I'd say. You want to Ignite before he oranges because his orange heal is actually kind of high. So, make sure to Ignite early in the fight. So, even if he oranges out of your CC, he can, he doesn't heal that much. Because what a Gangplank will do is he will orange while he's knocked up and instantly flash, which I never thought was possible, but apparently if you ult and E, he will orange flash out mid-air, which is kind of insane. How the fuck can a pirate do that? That's not realistic. No. How can a pirate man eat an orange mid-air and disappear with flash? That's insane. This shouldn't be possible, but he can. So watch out for that. Don't get barreled. Try to minimize the damage you get from barrels. His Q poke is pretty negligible if he goes, first strike, because his Q got nerfed as well. But if he goes grasp, you play a little safer, just a little. But he doesn't scale as hard, so you'll be fine. Just when you get Anathema is when you really start making the matchup easy. And when you get Frostfire, you can easily kill him in a side lane. But until you get these items, you will play like kind of back. And try and, kill him with the combos. So you Q, R, E, and as soon as you E, you ignite, like, mid combo. So if he oranges, he doesn't heal, and you kill him. Okay, next matchup is Garen matchup. I would say this matchup, like, no Ignite TP. I mean, you can take Ignite, but, like, it's a boring matchup. Nobody does anything. You go, like, Frostfire Anduins, because Frozen Heart doesn't affect him. Attack speed, double armor, cosmic insight cookies, like just farm and scale. Like you can't kill him. He shouldn't kill you. It's even most of the time. You can even take Cull as well. I take Cull into matchups where I know so we're jacking off. That's what we're doing. Yeah, it's boring matchup. Do not waste too much mana on him, because he will out heal your mana usage. Who knows? Maybe you could go Fimbulwinter as well. I mean, it's a boring matchup. Like, I'd only go Fimbulwinter into maybe Garen and Poppy. That's the only time I'd ever consider it. I consider Fimbulwinter haram, but honestly, like, it'd be fine here as well. Like, it's boring. Very boring. Gnar matchup. Gnar matchup is... Gnar got pretty annoying this patch. He did get nerfed a little, but I feel like he's still highly picked. If you are comfortable in it, you can take Unflinching and Conditioning. If you're not, you can take Second Wind. I would take Second Wind most of the time. I take Attack Speed and Double Armor, because it's sort of a melee matchup, because you're only going to fight... The only time you can actually fight Gnar is Mega Gnar. Surprise, surprise. Because Mini Gnar is so fucking strong. If the only way you can kill Mini Gnar is if he uses E. If he uses E, that's your only window of killing him. Your only window of ever killing Gnar is in his E. I would actually go Bammy Frostfire, because Warmog's not worth it. Like, it's just a, it's a clutch for you to lean on if you struggle. But like, Bammy Frostfire is the only way. I mean, you can go Sunfire if you really, really want to kill him. But you basically just want to punish his E, and you don't want to let him proc his W on you, because it hurts you with percentage HP. It has 3 stacks, and you want to stay behind minions, because his Q does not go through minions. And if it does like 20 damage. It's negligible. But punish his E. How do you punish his E? You're gonna Q E towards him. Same shit like Corki, but this time it's a little harder because Gnar fights back more. If you Q and E, or actually, you can just Q and walk forward and pretend like you're gonna E, and he will E out of fear. And when he does that, if you have ult, you will look for an engage as soon as you can. Just instantly ult. Doesn't matter if you hit the first part or the first part. You just want to hit the second one and get on him. That's your only chance. You have a 20-second window to kill. You need to be like at the edge of your seat, like, does he have E up? Does he have E up? Do I ult? Do I ult? Yes. The answer is yes, always. You always want to get an HP lead. If you get an HP lead, then he actually has to play safe, and you can farm, and he cannot farm because you will kill him. So yeah, that's how the matchup will go. Does he have E? No. Fuck him up. If he has it, then you just, jack off on the wave and permafarm. Next matchup. Gragor matchup. W max, Grasp, Demolish, Second Wind, Unflinching, Inspiration, Magical Footwear, Attack Speed, Double MR. This is an easy matchup. You can W his E and ult. Do not get ulted onto tower. That's the only way he kills you. And don't stay in his Q. Do not stay in his Q. If you stay in his Q, he will do more damage to you. So that would be bad. That would be really bad. Staying in Gragas's Q is just, why would you do it? Just step out. The main trades for this are going to be QW, and that's it. Because he will then E or E. If you do QWE, he will just, bomba slam you. And you won't get your E off. It will go on cooldown. You won't even get damage. So yeah, just QW and Brittle. You're gonna play with the Brittle procs until he dies. Basically, is the gist of it. You can go as soon as you get boots. I would suggest you get Merc Treads into Gragas. Gragas does not like Merc Treads, not at all. So yeah, that's the matchup. Just don't get pulled under tower with his ult. Save your W when you're 6 if you're like pushing into him, or like be wary of it, So if you're like pushing him under tower, do not use your W like non-sparingly, because he can ult you and fucking bomba slam you into the tower, and you would not escape. You would not escape. You outscale him, kind of. If he goes for strike, he might do some crazy combos on your team, but you should be able to keep him in check. For most of the game. It should be even if both players are good, if it's a good Ornn player and a good Gragas player. But play with the grasps. always be proactive with grasp. If you take grasp but you don't proc it, then what's the point? So be proactive in the lane, you know, trade, try and, you know, push him out. Next matchup, Graves. I haven't seen much of Graves top lately. I feel like he's just bad now in top lane, but yeah, he's more of a lane holder. He doesn't really do much. You go grasp the Demonic, second wind overgrowth, magical for biscuits, and attack speed double armor. And what you want to do is he's gonna push. You know he's gonna push, and he's gonna go like long sword into, I don't know, like Vamp Scepter. He's gonna perma heal with fleet and revitalize second wind. He will just be healing and pushing, healing and pushing. So if he does take those healing, you go Bramble. If he doesn't take any kind of healing, you go Wardens. That's the general gist of it. Punish his E, because it's like 10 second cooldown. Gets lowered every time he auto attacks you though. So if he does E, you want to make sure to punish him quick. He can Q on your pillar and it will bounce back. So if you Q and you like try and chase him, he can Q on your pillar and he can damage you pretty fast. So be wary of that. Do not stay in your walls. And just try and kite and you know, poke him from behind your wave. So he won't hit you, but you'll hit him. That's the matchup in a nutshell. It's boring, but it is what it is with lane holders like Graves. He doesn't scale, and you kill him on a side lane always. So yeah. Gwen. Oh boy. I would say it's a lose matchup now. With the heal cut nerfs, it just became really rough. You can take bump plating and unflinching and like Bammies, Cinder, and Swifties, but like, she's rough, man. She is really rough. You go double E key. Nothing really changed about this matchup. Like, build wise, like you're still gonna build the same. You build Swifties if they don't have a lot of, you know, magic damage. You would go Merc Treads if they do have magic damage. Swifties just helps in the, you know, running away from her. But like with her adjustments and with heal cut nerfs and with durability patch, this lane got a lot more less stompable, because to stomp a Gwen she has to be super bad, really really bad. I feel like she is gonna get nerfed soon. I feel like she is. Either that or tanks are gonna get buffed, because with the resolve nerfs I really didn't enjoy that. And Gwen does not use resolve. She can go domination, and she can use the new sudden impact. She can do a lot of shit with runes. Ornn cannot. I mean, no rune would help Ornn here other than biscuits. Like, and you take Cosmic Insight, which is why, you know, boots make sense here, because you want to make sure you have Ignite up as a heal cut. So yeah, that's the lane, and that's how it goes. You can take Unflinching, but honestly, I would just go with the Overgrowth, because like if you're gonna take Swifties, Unflinching is overkill, and Unflinching got nerfed, so it just depends if they have CC or not. But if it's only for Gwen, I would not take Unflinching. But if there are more than just Gwen, you can take it. Again, adapt to the enemy team. Like how you play this matchup, most Gwens now will start Q level 1, since her Q got buffed and her E is like, I don't know, almost garbage now for early level 1. So I would actually start W in the matchup. But she is really annoying, man. Really annoying. If her W is up, you can't ult her from range. So you're waiting a lot of cooldowns. You have to watch out for her 4-stack Q. If you know she's gonna Q, step to the side so you get less true damage done to you, or just less damage in general, and try and trade with bump plating. What I would do is bait her to E into you, and then you step to the side, and then you QWE her, and then you get one grasp, and you leave, and you should technically win that trade. The only way you win is if she E's onto you, because if she doesn't E onto you, then she can just farm and scale freely. But you want to punish her E, and you want to punish her W cooldown, and you want to be sure to trade with W auto. So you don't try and do QWE, because she can just like boop, dash, right? So you W auto, wait for her to come close to you, and you punish her every time she tries to take CS from you. When you get 6, you can kind of get a kill with Ignite, but you have to actually trade with her a lot more. You can't just kill her from full. With even if you get a really good combo, you still can't kill her because her W gives her resistances, and Ignite got nerfed. So you need to at least do like 2 brittle trades and a QRER Ignite combo. That's what it would take. Because their ability patch made the lane for Gwen a lot more like less punishable. Like it was already bad for her, now it's a lot worse. So thank you durability patch for being such a bitch to fucking my laning phase. She does outscale you, but like you can deal with her if you instantly ignite her in fights and knock her up with E. And you don't wanna like you wanna wait out her W so then your team can actually start DPSing her. Like in a team fight, how will you play it is you will stall her W, you will be in her W, she will auto attack, you'll be running in circles with Force of Nature, and as soon as the W goes down, if you have a lot of range champs, ignite her and make sure that pray to Allah that your team beats her. Because until then, you're going to be tanking Gwen and 4 other champs. So it's a really weird way of team fighting, but like it only depends on her W in team fights. You have to focus on her W. And in lane, you have to punish her E, and if she gets ult, if you're like in her tower, she will murder you, or like in her side of the tower, in her side of the lane, she will run you down. So just make sure that the wave is on your side. It's like a harder Darius, pretty much. And you can't go like, you could go spellbook into this lane if you really can ever kill her. I like to go grasp because I like to actually put up a fight in the lane, but I might soon. I don't know. It needs more testing to be done for Gwen, but honestly, it's a bad matchup. All right, it is killable, but a lot harder to be stompable. Heimerdonger, next matchup. Okay. Heimer is a 3-point into QWE, and then you finish Q because you won't poke him that much. Like a good Heimer will just stay behind the tower, so you'll just use your Q for farming, and you'll go Glacial because he's immobile and will make it easier for the jungler to gank. You're gonna take Unflinching second wing because he has a lot of slows. And because he has a lot of slows, Unflinching is good. And you want to make sure to combo him. That's the only way you can kill him is with a QRER combo. You can't kill him anywhere else. And if he ults, you instantly run away. Because he can ult. Most of the time he'll ult with the tower. But if he's move like from either side, left or right, so you won't get stunned. And when he W's you, sidestep so you don't get hit by all the rockets. What Heimer will do is he will E and W you, so you're stunned and you will eat all the rockets. That's how his trades will go, and then he'll just shove his towers in your face and won't move. So play with the jungler and make sure to not get hit by the middle of the E, so you don't get stunned. And get used to farming under tower under pressure, because that skill will be pretty useful when you're playing versus Heimer. Allowing matchup. Allowing matchup is lose lane, win game. Don't die. As long as you don't die, the lane should be fine. You're gonna take WQ, Ignite TP, Grasp second win, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight with Inspiration, attack speed, double armor. You can go D-Shield Anathema, and then I would say like you used to go Thornmail like second. I know it sounds troll, but when it used to be 60%, it was worth it, but now it's not. So you just go like Frostfire, yeah, this is how the build will look like. Swifties if they don't have AD, but you take Steel Caps when they have AD. Like let's say 3 or more is enough for Steel Caps to be worth it. Stay behind minions, and you're gonna play the mini game of dodge the fucking tentacle slap, tentacle slap, tentacle slap. You're gonna be always sidestepping, so get good at that. And you're gonna use the Ignite as a heal cut when the jungler comes. If the jungler comes. If he doesn't, you suffer. Stay behind the minions, and every time she gets her E on you, you stand still to dodge it. And as soon as the tentacle tries to slam you, dodge to the left, and you stay in the same spot so another tentacle doesn't spawn. Because you don't want a lot of tentacles, because then it will get very chaotic, okay? You want to make sure that only one tentacle spawns. You stand still, you dodge, you stand still again, you dodge, and then you kill it. Anathema helps surviving, and Illaoi hates CC. So yeah, stay behind minions, kill her tentacles, and sidestep. Make sure to bait her E. Do not trade like QW and in front of her face, because she will pull you. She will try and pull your soul when you're in an animation, whether it is your W or E. Those are her main, like, you know, hits. And if she E's you, instantly run to the edge. Because if she has a tentacle near her, she will most likely kill it. If she doesn't, you can stay there and maybe try and trade against her. But what she will do is she will E you, and then she will try and Q both the spirit and you. You don't want to be near the spirit, because the spirit heals her as well. So I would just, you know, run away from her. Stay behind minions, try and punish her behind them. Like run in circles. Like you have to be very, very nimble in this matchup. You have to be so fast. So yeah, that's what you're gonna do with Illaoi. We hate Illaoi here. All Ornn mains hate Illaoi, and any Ornn main that doesn't hate Illaoi is a liar. He's a fucking liar or an Illaoi spy. Fuck Illaoi. Irelia. I haven't seen much of Irelia. Surprise, surprise. I haven't fought her in ages. I don't know why. Like I just don't see her anymore. Irelia is, I would say, a matchup that's just like whether or not you're smart enough to back off when she gets 4 stacks and you take exhaust TP and bow plating overgrowth. The build for this didn't change. It's the same shit. Same like an Aatrox. As long as you don't die in lane and heal cut her in fights, you should be fine. You just want to peel your team. The only way you kill her is when you get Bramble Bammy. Again, that build doesn't change. You want to make sure to dodge her E. If you dodge her E, you can win a trade. If you don't, you lose the trade. You want to fight her and press your abilities when she uses most of her Qs or most of her minions to where it becomes predictable on where she would Q. Because if she has a minion here and you're auto-attacking her, she will most likely disengage to that minion. So as soon as you press an ability, she will disengage to the minion here. So what you're actually going to do, press an ability, but press it on the minion that she's going to go to. A minion that's slow, so she gets her Q, right? So that's how I would deal with Irelia's. Instead of spamming my abilities on her, I would spam them on where the minions are, so she can't actually dodge it. And if she gets W, she has a bug to where you brittle her, her W gets stopped for some reason. I don't know why. It shouldn't work like that, but it does. Be careful of her 4 stacks. Try and keep the wave on your side. And if you're caught like slow pushing to her, you want to push hard. Because the jungler will come and she'll kill you and she'll perma freeze. If you let her freeze, you are fucked. Do not let her freeze. And if she tries to contest a freeze, you have to fight her. If you don't fight her, you will run out of steam, of fuel, and she will freeze the wave on you and you'll die or be low, and then she'll heal up very fast. So if she tries to freeze, you have to contest it or you lose the whole lane for the next 6 minutes unless your jungler helps you. Janna with smite, not a thing anymore. I mean, if it is, you would just, you would suck in lane. You can't match her roams. Like, I've tried matching roams. It's impossible. You would just go like kill hull breaker and like sell the hull breaker when you start grouping, but that's it. I'm including Janna top because there are still enchanters top that would perma roam. They still exist, and I'm assuming with these resolve nerfs that they did, they will become more and more prominent because top lane will matter less and less and dragon matters more and more. So I would assume this thing will come back. Not Janna with smite, but just Janna top lane. Like, it's just Janna top. Okay? Like, these are not top laners, alright? They are just enchanters, refugees, okay? These people exist. And I haven't fought one as of yet recently, but I have fought, Lulus. I have fought all types of people. And these people exist. They hide in sewers. They hide everywhere, man. they're hidden. It's like a secret fucking syndicate society. Okay, it's a secret crime syndicate society. They're just hiding enchanter mains in top lane. I hate them. We want to make sure you push towers as fast as you can. Just get towers, because your team will get snowballed on and they will die. Jacques. You take phase rush into Jacques and it fucking works. You would take Ruby to pot, and then you would take Bammies, and then you take Bammies so you can proc your phase rush. Procking your phase rush is important because you know, it makes it so when you take well, not tab-based plated steel caps, but Bammies counts as another attack for phase rush. So you would basically QW, he pops counter strike, you have phase rush up, you run away. So if you QW and you get your Bammies, you can actually run away from Jacques. You take exhaust TP, because flash is useless. You can take ignite if you want to, but I like to be a little on the safe side. Because, you know, exhaust is pretty nice into champs like Jacques, because you exhaust them and then they're like crippled, you know? They can't kill your team, they can't kill you. And you're gonna go 3 points in QWE because he's a melee matchup that you're gonna treat like a ranged. But you're only gonna treat for the early game. After that, you know, you're doing more damage with W. So phase rush, mana flow, transcendence, scorch, overgrowth, bone plating, AD armor, HP, and Scorch got buffed, so that's a good thing, at least. You're gonna go Sunfire if you want to fight him 1v1, or Frostfire if you want to team fight him. Then you want to get Thornmail for his Divine Thunder. So as soon as he pops Counter Strike on you, he jumps in. You're gonna do QW with your Bammies, then you're gonna instantly run away, and then you might run back in to proc your Brittle. So you're just gonna be playing around, and you're gonna be running around the map. So you go Bammy, Tabby, Sunfire, Thornmail. That's how the build will look like. Like, you always want to stay near walls or near your side of the lane. If you are in his side, you can, like, you can trade with him. It is doable, you know, but you want to disengage after you use all your spells, alright? You want to save your E for either a knockup or just straight up running away. So yeah, that would be Jack's matchup. Jack's matchup is you have to get good at using phase rush, or if you don't want to use phase rush, you want to get good at spacing. Like, spacing is really important, which is why I take phase rush in this matchup, because you can match him pretty well without grasp or anything else, because you can just like QWE the wave is gone, he can't crash your tower, you go team fight, right? So this is how I would treat the Jax matchup, and it's a spacing matchup. That's all it is. Spacing. Literally all it is. Just be careful of his Q, because what every Jax player does is he will Q on you every time he has it on cooldown. And what you will do, you're going to be the smart one. You're going to know he's going to Q. So you're going to QW, E the wall, run away. Or you can just QWE him, and then you will get stunned, but you also have, you know, phase rush. So half of the phase rush will be wasted in the stun, but you'll be able to run away pretty fast. So yeah, you'll be fine. As long as you space properly and you trade properly and you freeze waves and you don't end up being frozen on or jungle ganked, you should be fine. If you do get jungle ganked, just make sure you don't die. If you're being, like, most of the time you're going to be weak-sided, not dying is like the best case scenario, okay? You don't need to go 1-for-1s or solo kills. Best case scenario is just making sure your tower lives through it and he doesn't get blades. So he can E or W Brittle, so that's why I suggest staying near walls, is so you can proc your Brittle with the terrain instead of with your auto attacks. And why you would go Q is because it's kind of a poke lane before you get your ult. Because after you get ult, it becomes more of a how much damage can I pump into this guy lane. And your W is your biggest source of damage, so yeah. Plus Scorch is also nice damage as well. So yeah, this is, I would say it's a skill lane. So that's my advice on how to survive this guy. And you should be fine. And my voice is starting to, you know, plummet into death, but that's fine. Jace matchup. Jace is a QWE. You're gonna do 3 points into Q, and then you're gonna max W, and then you're gonna max Q at the end. So 3 points is enough, because he's more of a ranged melee, you know, kind of a mixed bag. You go Spellbook, over the growth, second wind, AD double armor. Nothing changed about this matchup. You go Wardens if you're not safe, and if you're not comfortable in the matchup, or if he's bullying you a lot. And go Bammies into Frostfire if you are like, if you're like, I got this, you know? And you take Ignite TP, you always make sure that you have a kill potential. I started taking Ignite more because it just makes the laning and Ornn more and more aggressive and makes people scared. So yeah, that's how the matchups would go. You go, you would try and, you know, not get, if you Qs on the minions, the Q with the melee form, the hammer form gives them bonus MR and armor. It will do an AoE. So if you stay near the minions, you will get damaged. And he will also use his hammer form E to deny either your ult, or he will push you into tower. So you also want to be wary of that. You want to be wary of his poke with his other form, which is his cannon, and he will EQ you. So either stay behind minions, so he has to choose between minions and you, or stay to the side of the minions. Either behind or the side is fine, but the EQ becomes so massive that you can't really dodge it as Ornn because you have too fat of a hitbox. A good Jace will go phase rush, and basically he will outspace you, and he will, you know, be better than you, right? So you have to be wary of that. If he does have phase rush, then you just, I don't know, you let him go. Like, there's no killing him. The only way you can kill him is if you instantly just ult him. Like, I would say the best way to, the more times I've killed a Jace is when he's farming and he Qs the wave in hammer form, then I instantly ult, and he's kind of stuck in an animation. So he can't like turn instantly into cannon form and run away with move speed boost. So punish him when he's trying to CS and he's distracted, or when he lets his guard down. That's when you kill him. If he engages on you, you want to W with. If he engages on you with hammer form, like instantly on you, you want to W brittle, then you QRE, and then you press ult again, and you ignite him, and you kill him. So the trade will go like W, QRE, R, and auto attack, and ignite, and another auto attack, and maybe you get flash from spellbook, and then you flash on him for another auto attack, and you finish him off. So yeah, it's a spacing matchup, which you need to just be wary of his move speed boost. You need to get really good at being patient. With Ornn, patience is like the #1 key to just, you know, being good at this champ and good at laning and good at team fighting. It's patience, always patience. And if he blows flash, you can punish him with ult pretty easily. Kai'Sa, if Kai'Sa mid doesn't exist anymore, but I'm gonna go in detail anyway because this is the full guide and we shall do it to the end. Kai'Sa, it's a QWE max, and you're gonna take Glacial, and you're gonna take AD Magic Resist Armor, Overgrowth Second Wind, Magical Footwear, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight. The reason you take Glacial is because against these types of immobile or punishable laners, it will help you a lot to slow them when you knock them up. And AP Kai'Sa is not a thing anymore, but if you find just a Kai'Sa or an AD carry, or if you're side laning versus them at the lane swap or with the enemy bot lane, you want to make sure to punish her E-invisibility after she uses it, or her ult. She can ult to the side of you, like when she damages you, what she will be able to do is ult to any circle. You'll have a circle around you, and she'll be able to ult at any part. So if you ult her and she has ult, she will get a shield and ult to you, and you'll miss completely. So I would suggest you like hold it if you're about 6, or if she has ult up. Okay, you hold it for, you know, a 2v1 or something else. If she goes AP, you go Frozen Nature. If she doesn't go AP, you go Frozen Heart. Second. So stay behind the minion so you don't get doubly poked, and don't let her get 4 attacks on you, because then she will do like bonus damage. So yeah, that's the Kai'Sa matchup. I don't fight her that often. I fought her like 3 or 4 times, but in case you do, it's here, just so you have a general idea of what to do. Kalista. Kalista top is a very cheesy lane, but she has no combat rune, no combat ult, so that's good. Ahri slows, so I take unflinching, and I go glacial with 2 armor runes, and you go straight Warden's Frozen Heart, because Frozen Heart technically slows her because it slows her attack speed and slows how much she jumps around. You want to wait out until she goes like super close to you, so then you can then you can do your spells, because every time she auto attacks, she can move to any direction she wants, whether it be back, forward, right, left. Like it's kind of like a Bel'veth Q, but on crack. So these shield wardens will make her do less damage to you. You want to let her push level 1. She's really strong. So yeah, that's the Kalista matchup. You could start W if she tries to melee you, so you threaten a glacial, so she won't, she'll be scared. So because a Q she can dodge it, but W she can dodge it if she's in melee range. You can only kill her with a jungler when you're 6. I mean, you can kill her on your own, but she has to really badly fuck up. Okay, you have to punish her when she comes too close, because you have a circle around you. The circle is the no touching Ornn zone. And if she comes too close to that zone, you treat her with respect and you beat her up. And that's what you do to Kalista. But as soon as you get Frozen Heart and Glacial, like, her character will be able to do nothing to you. So that'll be the Kalista matchup. Explained. Just get your Wardens, get your Frozen Heart, bait her in melee range, so get your W and Brittle, and then the Glacial pops, so it'll be easier to hit her, and then you can Q ult E if you can, or you can just Q and ult and save your E for later, because a lot of mistakes people do with the Ornn combo is they know their E is gonna miss, but they cast it anyway. Just save your E for like a different occasion, My throat is fucking dying, but I don't know if you can tell, but I am dying inside and outside. Okay, next matchup, Karma. Karma is a matchup that is really, really, really hard to kill until you get Frostfire. She does a lot of damage, she pokes you, and you just farm. Okay, you have to be careful of her mantra. Her mantra W heals. Her mantra Q does a lot of damage, and it casts at the end, so even if it misses, it will explode and it will pop up like a second later and will do more damage. So it'll pop up like a volcano, and you have to be careful of her mantra Q. Her mantra Q will bully you. So yeah, until you get ult, you don't trade with her. You just farm and try and survive the lane. So I mean, it's an enchanter top lane. Most of the time, nothing is gonna happen. But the only time you can get a solo kill is when you get Ignite and when you get Frostfire. With Spellbook and Frostfire and Ignite, or maybe a heal, you can do damage and W max. Like at level 9, you can kill her if you get Frostfire around level 9. That's when, though I've limit tested it enough to know you can kill her there. But yeah, that will be Karma matchup. And yeah, just be careful of her mantra Q and ignite her instantly if she does her mantra W. She will start healing a lot, and your whole trade will mean nothing. So yeah, again, you can only ignite with spellbook. Okay, you're gonna take flash TP here, because if I don't say you take ignite TP, then the default is flash, because flash is decent engage summoner spell, and Ornn likes it. I like it. Next matchup. Kassadin. Kassadin is a matchup where you kind of like build like an AD champ. Like you'd go like, I would say QWE, but you take attack speed, so you want to bully him. I would say attack speed and AD actually. Attack speed AD and you take MR. So you want to make sure you beat him with grasp and with Q. Always. Every time he comes up to the wave, you just want to spam Q and bully him out. I would say Kassadin just freely scales versus Ornn, because you can't kill him at 6 because he has his ult. But you just want to try and zone him and try and roam, and if you fight a mid lane, you can like hold your own, right? But you want to go Q max because his Q is a magic damage shield, and if you build and skill your magic damage abilities into Kassadin, that would not be smart because he will just block it with his Q anyway, so what's the point? So you just want to beat him up without attacks and Q every time he tries to come to CS. That would be the general gist of the matchup. How you would win the game though versus Kassadin is by roaming bot lane if you're mid. If you roam bot lane, then you can impact the map, play with your jungler. Like, solo killing him is only possible in mid lane or if he's on top lane. If the wave is too far on your side and he tries to pull off some crazy LN, but either you poke him or the jungler comes. Like, those are the only, like, you know, realistic things you can do. Katarina next. Oh boy, I still have 50 other matchups. This is gonna be a fucking long one. Katarina, you go Resolve Grasp, Demolish Second Window Overgrowth, W Max Armor and MR because she can go AD or AP. She does mixed damage, so you have to be careful with that. I would say go Frostfire, and if she goes Divine, like, maybe you'd go instead of Bramble. I think an Anathema would just solve all your issues because she can do anything she wants, right? But if you Anathema her, she does nothing. So I would say just Anathema. Anathema solves all our issues with all champs that do mixed damage because it will reduce all the damage by 30% and make them, you know, CCable. So yeah, don't stay near daggers because she can E on them and then she can get another E reset. That's the only thing you should do. And if she ults you, you can either instantly interrupt it or instantly dash away. How you interrupt your ult is with either E knock up near a terrain or your Q, or W brittle. So you don't want to stay in Katarina ult because she does a lot of damage. Yeah. So that's how you deal with Katarina. Don't stay near daggers. Try and keep prio. Don't let her roam and get a random triple kill. And yeah, that's the Katarina matchup. And W Max because she actually gets quite tanky. So you can't go Q Max because like she will probably go D shield anyway. So and she'll probably take armor because most Katarina mains I know are kind of stupid, and they would take armor anyway when Ornn does like 60% magic damage. But yeah, okay. Next matchup is the Kayle matchup. Kayle matchup, you go QWE and you take Ignite TP because more kill pressure means Kayle can die more, which means you will always have a QRER Ignite combo. And how you play the Kayle matchup is like you want to freeze waves and blow her ult. And how you blow her ult is you instantly ult her and just hope to God that she ults as well because her ult cooldown is way longer. It's like 3 minutes or 4 or 3.5 minutes. Like she has to wait a long while for her ult to come back. So it is worth it if you blow ult for ult. And you want to play with your Qmax because she is a range champion and she does not have a lot of armor. So yeah, you want to punish her with Q every time she tries to CS, and you want to basically make her regret ever coming top lane. The build would still be like Frostfire Frozen Nature, and then you take a Frozen Heart. Merc Treads is good into her if there are a lot of other AP champs, but if there aren't, Tabby's is also fine because it reduces her attacks. Not her E, but her regular auto attacks. Like if they have like 3 AD, it's fine to go Tabby into Kayle after you get your Frostfire and you get the magical boots. Go AD, MR, and HP in tiny runes because you are scaling, right? And the HP is basically a free ruby crystal, like at like level 18 or some shit. So it's all right. Next matchup is Cannon matchup. Cannon matchup, I will go Exhaust TP, 3 points into QWE. This is an even matchup. I'd actually just consider, no, not 3 points, just full QWE, because it's fully ranged, alright? And you want to rush Anathema and get Frostfire and Force of Nature. And the reason why you take Exhaust with Spellbook is because how does Kennen win versus Ornn? When Kennen presses ult on your team, that's when Kennen wins. And how do you counter that? You press the funny exhaust button, Kennen is no longer a threat. And you take a D-Armor MR because you're going Q-Max and Kennen pokes with auto attacks early. So this is like a whole complete set on how to deal with Kennen. The only time you kill Kennen in lane is when you get Ignite, and is when she blows her E. He blows her E. Sorry. It's a he. I forgot. If he gets 3 electric balls, then you get stunned. So be wary of that. And when he ults, he gets bonus resistances. So don't expect to fully one-shot a cannon if he ults. But yeah, the build path is Anathema Frostfire. You want to make sure Kennen struggles versus your team and versus you. So yeah, that's how you deal with Kennen. That's the technology you need to keep him in check, to keep him from killing your team. And stay behind minions so you don't get Q poked. If he tries to farm from range and has a cannon, you can actually like tank the Q. So the cannon dies and you nuke 90 gold from him. So yeah, that's how you play Kennen lane. Just don't get poked too heavily. With exhaust, you should never die. Like if he ults you and he has first strike, and if he ults you for gold, it is worth it to exhaust him so he gets less gold, less damage on you. So yeah, Kennen lane is just a poke lane and a survival lane and a survival team fight for your team. That's how you're gonna treat it. You can kill him a lot in lane if he fucks up his E, because if he fucks up his Z, like if he just casts it for like wave clear, that's your cue to kill and murder. Alright? So yeah, that would be Kennen matchup. D-Shield Anathema, Frostfire for Nature, exhaust him in team fights, don't let him get 3 stacks, stay behind minions, punish his Z. That's the gist of it. Next matchup would be Kled matchup. I would say this matchup is just armor stacking. Alright? All Kled matchup is just like you go like cloth refill, Bammies, Wardens, like, and then you go like Bramble Vest, and then you go Sunfire, and then you go Tabby. Like you only want to stack armor, and Kled doesn't beat you, okay? And he doesn't poke, so D-Shield is kind of useless. And Second Wind and Bump Plating are also useless into Kled. You just go attack speed, double armor with Biscuit's Magical Footwear, and you just want to stack as much armor as you can. Do not, if he gets his bear trap on you, he will kill you. If he doesn't, he will not kill you. You can W his bear trap pull, so even if he Qs you and pulls you, you're gonna stay in place and you're gonna trade back. W brittle, E away. And if you get him unmounted, but you have no spells, that's bad. You wanna get him, you wanna actually leave Kled mounted with very little HP. So when you actually get your spells back, you can auto attack, and then you can press QWE so it doesn't get mounted again. That's what I do. Like when I take a trade into Kled and I know that I'm like gonna unmount him, I try to not attack him and wait until I get my spells back up again so that he becomes unmounted and gets knocked up into oblivion, right? So armor stack, don't unmount him if you don't have spells. Unmount him if you do have spells up. I would want QW and E, all 3 back. And you can punish him with Flash when he's, without Scarl. Because, Scarl, the darn bastard, gives him the mobility. And without it, you can just fully combo him and easy peasy, Focus on sidestepping his EQ. And if he has his W up, let him waste it on minions first. Because you don't want to fight him when he has his W up. You'll hear, the sound effect like ding, and he will attack 4 times really quickly, and he will win a trade really hard with that. So yeah, be wary of it. That would be my advice into Kled. Armor stack, dodge EQ, W his Q if you do get hit, and ping his ult roam. It's very loud, but ping it beforehand because it can get to mid lane really quickly. So yeah, that would be Kled matchup. Any other thing I need to say? Oh, his E follows you through walls. If he E's you and you flash away through a wall, he can chase you, so don't bother. If he has his second E, don't bother dashing away because he will chase you to the ends of the fucking earth. Doesn't matter where you are, you will get chased. Next matchup is LeBlanc matchup. LeBlanc matchup is a Qmax matchup because honestly, like, you're only gonna farm. In this lane, like, Glacial is also useless because she has her W, she has dashes, she has billions of ways to get away from you. You're just farming here. You're gonna E away from her E, and when she Qs, her next spell will do more damage to you. And how you deal with this lane is you don't. Okay? LeBlanc is very elusive, but she doesn't scale that great, and you outscale her, so it doesn't matter. But you can punish her when her W is down. It's not a long cooldown though, so even punishing her is, because you have long cooldowns as well. Like, you can do one trade every 10 seconds, like a full trade. So if she Qs you, walk away or don't get E'd by her or hide behind minions, so she is a random minion. So yeah, just be wary of her Q and her damage and try and farm as much as you can, because you can't kill her. And if you try, like, if you try and ult her, she will either W away or W back to a spot where she was. So try and predict if she has W'd, you ult her. But when you ult her, you ult to the, you know, portal. So LeBlanc will be like, oh my god, he's gonna ult me. I must portal back to where I was, and then she won't expect it. Or you can actually just do nothing in the lane. You can also take that approach. You can take the farm and do nothing approach. My voice is dying, but that's fine. Listen. See? The fucking mental. I need to have to do this shit. So many matchups, so much shit to do. Okay. Listen, I don't see him top lane anymore, but you would take Grasp, Demolish, Second Wind, Overgrowth, Inspiration, Biscuits, Magical Footwear, Attack Speed, Double Armor, Frostfire Gauntlet, Thornmail, Fight behind minions so it doesn't Q you. Your W can deny his ult, which is, you will know because Lee Sin's ult first roots you and then it kicks you. So you will know because you won't be able to move for like half a second. Slowly poke him down and try your best to not get out sustained by his W, okay? Yeah, so you go, I think W start is fine into Lee, and W start, W max. You go WQE, and then you would max WEQ. So you would start W, and then you'd level Q, then you'd level E, and then you'd max W first, and then E, because E does a lot more damage. And just try and, you know, you're trading normally. It's not very complex matchup. You should win. And you're only gonna get a heal cut when he gets Gore Junker, and yeah. If he has W up, he can ward hop out of your combo, so be wary of that. But if he doesn't have W up, you are free to kick his ass. So yeah, simple matchup, should do fine. Next matchup is Lilia. Lilia is a secret anti-tank that nobody picks top lane. See, the thing with Lilia is her outer Q does true damage. And she has a lot of movement speed. And she pokes. And she has sustain. And she's a pain in the ass. So how I deal with her is I get Glacial to slow her down, because her movement speed is her best part. If she's slowed, she doesn't do anything, right? And you can W her ult. And what I would do if you're trading with her, you would step in her consensually, of course. You'd step in her consensually, so she doesn't get the true damage part, and then you'd get out. So you'd get your QW, step a little in, proc the brittle, E out, and repeat that trade until she is low. After 6, what she can do is, if you ult her, she will put you to sleep. But what you're gonna do, you're gonna ult, you're gonna W, then you're gonna ult. You're gonna W the drowsy, you know? You can do the same thing with the Zoe, with all drowsies, alright? You become unstoppable and immune to it. So, but you have to do it at the last second as it's about to, you know, put you to sleep. Sidestep her E and you should be fine. Just dodge the outer Q, W her ult, and make sure you set up your Q properly for gank support with Glacial. And you take second wind just to survive. Lissandra. Lissandra is farm lane. Sidestep her Qs. Be wary of her gank support because she can ult you instantly and W. There is no real counterplay other than running away for her to just ult you while you're comboing her. Because she can just ult herself or ult you. So the best case scenario is she ults herself because she does no damage to you. So as soon as you're about to combo her, you walk away, right? You step away from her and you bonk her. So she will ult herself probably, and she'll be in stasis. So you can set up another knockup with your Q&E if you have it up. But yeah, it's a boring matchup. So you can interrupt her E with a knockup. So if she tries to run away, you knock her up. She won't be able to recast it. So yeah, that's good as well. So, okay, I'm gonna go to the next matchup now, because, I mean, you shouldn't struggle into Lissandra, and if you do, you're bad at Ornn. Okay, just take Unflinching second wind, spellbook, all the runes you see here, and you should be fine. Next matchup is Lucian. Lucian, you go Glacial, and you go, I feel like you could go double AD if you're comfortable, and you don't take double AD if you're not comfortable, okay? QWE, Warden's Mail, Bammy Cinder, Frostfire, Frozen Heart. Wait until he uses his E to punish with your combo. Just stay to the side of the minions so it doesn't poke you with Q, and you should be fine. Just wait for his dash, and then you can kill him. Because after he uses his dash, he's free to get hit or just murdered. You know? Poke him with Q until then, and you should be fine. It's an alright medium difficulty matchup, not super hard. So yeah, good luck. Next matchup is Lulu. Lulu is surprisingly a very strong top laner. She does a lot of damage early, and she scales alright. She can peel really well. So, and she has a lot of CC with polymorph and slows. So you take Unflinching second wind, attack speed, double MR, max W. Because she is also tanky as hell. She's really tanky, and she can shield herself, she can ult herself, she can get a lot of health. She can get Moonstone, she can get fucking staff, she can get the heal cut item, she can build HP, she can tank, she can do anything. So you want to save your spells and your damage for a big all-in. That's the only time you win. A big all-in, both from full HP. You have Ignite up. At Frostfire, the matchup gets easier, but yeah, she is very tough early, so you have to give priority. She can use her E on the wave and then Q you from the Pixie. So yeah, be wary of her EQ. She can run you down, so give prio, play safe, try and farm until you get your ult and item. And a lot of items. I mean, you don't need Force of Nature to beat her on a silent after Frostfire, but if they do have a lot of magic damage, you can. But if they have like Lulu, and they have like a Lee Sin, and the Lissandra, and they have a Lucian with a Pike, you can go like either Randuin's or Gargoyle is fine as well. Because you shouldn't struggle into Lulu after Frostfire. After Frostfire, you're chilling, okay? But yeah. And you cannot, I think you can W her polymorph, but I don't know the animation for it, so I'm not sure on how to tell because I've never done it. I might have done it by accident, but you cannot tell. And her ult knocks up, but again, you cannot really tell. Her casts are kind of like instant, so I don't know. They all look the same to me. So yeah, just play until you get Frostfire. Do not play super aggro early because you will lose and you will get shit on by a fucking Lulu, but it's fine. It's fine. Next matchup, Lux. Lux is a QMax matchup. You take Unflinching second wind secondary because she'll poke you a lot, and you're gonna go double ADMR because you wanna poke her as well. Well, she pokes you. Her Q can go through minions, but not through all minions. I don't think so. And E away from her Q if she does, because you can precast it, so even if you're rooted, you'll still be able to move away from her. So she can like full like Q auto E auto ult auto whatever the fuck her Lux combo is. But yeah, it's an easy matchup. You should be able to shine by just farming and ulting her. I actually feel like Glacial is better here for Lux because you know low mobility, good gank support. Okay, next matchup, Malphite. Malphite is WQ max, demolish second wind overgrowth, sorcery, mana flow transcendence, attack speed double MR. Here you just scale. It's easy matchup. Like you can double his ult, but that's it. That's the only mechanic. You shouldn't ever struggle into Malphite. Like it's way too easy. Okay, it's Malphite. If you struggle into Malphite, just retire as a League of Legends player forever. Okay. Next matchup, Malzahar. Again, easy matchup. Don't let the space aids spread through the minions. He can silence or suppress your ult. So comboing him is kind of an issue because he gets a Banshee's Veil in his passive and he gets a free suppression which you cannot reduce, but you are going to take unflinching. He's going to take Rylai's and he's going to silence you and he's going to poke you and second wind and yeah. So this is what the build path would look like. You're going to take Force of Nature because it will proc really fast from his Voidlings and from his Z. And yeah, he's easy to deal with. And if he has Banshee's Veil and you E him against the wall, the Banshees will stop the E damage, but it will not stop the knock-up. The Banshees will proc, like, you will touch his barrier here, the knock-up will touch here. So this is his barrier, right? You'll touch the barrier here. The barrier is now gone because you touched it with E. Now you can freely knock him up. So if he has barrier up, the passive, you can still E him against the wall and he will die. I think counts because of Bammies. It might be either of those, but I think it's just the E damage. Next matchup, it's Maokai. Maokai is not played, but you go Ignite TP because he heals. You go Conditioning Overgrowth. And I'd say go Presence of Mind here. Precision, Presence of Mind. Because all of his CC gets reduced by tenacity as roots. So this is fine to go. You go Bammy Cinder Sunfire, Abyssal. You just beat the shit out of him. I mean, it's an easy matchup. You shouldn't struggle. You can double his Q, but like it's a small knockback. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's Maokai. Nobody plays this shit, but if you do, this is what you take, and you scale, and you just adapt to the enemy team, and you tank more than him. Next matchup, Mordekaiser. This matchup didn't really change. You still got enough Rush, attack speed double MR, grasp the Demonic second wind overgrowth, exhaust TP, because you exhaust when he ults, or when he ults somebody else, you can like exhaust, like, good luck buddy, have an exhaust, just for the start of the fight. Like, it's like anti-doping for the, you know, Mordekaiser Brazil ring. But, I mean, you know, it's just nice to have an exhaust, because flash is kind of useless. Like, what, are you gonna flash from like the fucking Brazil? You're not. You're gonna be stuck there. So, and Ignite is also pointless. So I will take exhaust any time of the day. You can win pre-6, pretty hard with grasp and W. And after 6, yeah, I've told this trick many times, but I'll say it again. The only way for you to counter his ult is by ditching your own ult as well. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna ult him. When the ram comes to you, you're gonna W instead of recasting your ram. Because what Mordekaiser will do is he will ult you and put you into Brazil. Okay? When he puts you into Brazil, your ram will be gone. It will be into the other realm, right? But what you do is you press W when the ram is coming, because when he starts his animation to ult you, so the ram doesn't touch him, and you press W and suddenly you're not in Brazil anymore. Your ram runs him over and slows him and applies a brittle. Your W also damages him. So you're not in Brazil, you both wasted ults, and you're chilling for the next minutes. And Anathema helps, you know, minus tenacity. You can double his E as well in the early game so you don't get pulled. So yeah, play with your grasp and your W and you should be fine. If he has ult up, use your W sparingly though. Nyla. I haven't fought her top lane, but I fought her bot lane, and I feel like she heals a lot and she's really good at extended trades. And if she does use her spell that makes her like immobile, or not immobile, invulnerable, your brittle does not proc, it misses. It's like a Jacques, so the attacks get dodged. So what I would do is I would just run away. Like a bitch, I would run. She does a lot of damage though, so I would actually consider wardens first, and then Bramble into Nyla, because she is kind of scary. Not gonna lie, she's kind of scary. But yeah, she's a new champ, so play with the jungle. The only person who plays Nyla top lane is Drutut right now, so you shouldn't worry unless you're in challenger top lane and you have to fight Drutut's Nyla. But yeah, you should be fine. Just disengage and be careful of her, tentacle whip slaps. Yeah. Okay. Nasus. Nasus is a matchup that only relies about wave management. If you push too hard, you won't punish him. You're supposed to take Ignite TP, Conditioning, Unflinching, Mana Flow, Transcendence, Attack Speed, Double Armor, and Ruby 2-Pot, Bambi, Sunfire, Thornmail, Anathema. Like, build every item to make Nasus' life hell. You want to make sure the wave is on you, on your side, okay? And by making sure the wave is on your side means Nasus has to walk up and he has to fight you. And you have to make sure that you have a lot of minions, enemy minions, because if you have too little, you'll break it with your QWE. But you have to do what you gotta do to punish him, alright? Because this matchup is, I would say it's one when you have like at least a 30 CS or 40 CS lead, because you're not gonna kill him. Realistically, you're not. I mean, you take full scaling runes to like make it sort of easier in the late game, but you probably will not kill him. Okay, you just have to learn how to freeze. That's the matchup. That's the only important part. It's just freezing and making sure that he farms as little as possible. Okay. If you get a jungler, that's also great, because Nasus will be put behind and you'll both get ahead. But if you're alone, you probably won't kill him. And you take Ignite because he yields a lot, and like Flash here is pointless. Next matchup, Neeko matchup. Neeko is a very hard matchup. Very hard. Here I would actually consider Warmogs, because she makes life hell, laning hell. She's super annoying. She pokes you, she roots you, she destroys you. Very strong poke. You take Spellbook, Unflinching, Second Wind. So don't stay in front of minions because the root will last longer. And if she casts a Q, it'll like do a bubble pop. It will pop twice and will do more damage, so don't stay in it. And yeah. Just don't get debated by her clone, because she can sometimes like run towards you and put a clone to run away and make you think like, I don't know, she'll do mind games against you, and that's no good. We hate mind games. But yeah, Warmogs Frostfire. It's an annoying matchup. Really annoying. So yeah. Just don't stay behind minions because she will root you for longer. Don't stay in her queue. Try and farm and survive. You can combo her, maybe, but like it's hard matchup. Very hard. Nocturne. Nocturne top, don't see him anymore. Grasp the March, Second Wind Overgrowth, Biscuits, Magical Footwear, Attack Speed, Double Armor, Bramble Vest to cut his healing. They take Frostfire Thornmail. You poke him, and that's it. It's a very simple matchup. You don't need a lot of advice on this. I guess his barrier stops your brittle. I mean, that's it, but it's really not complex. If he fears you, you E away before the fear goes off. So, you run away from him, and that's it. I mean, it's an easy matchup. You shouldn't struggle, okay? If he gets ult, he can do like some cheese in the bush, Like he can debate you maybe if you're low, and he makes you think that he's gone, but he's waiting in the bush and he instantly ults you when you press abilities on the wave. But nothing should happen. Realistically, nothing should happen. Next matchup, Olaf. I started seeing a lot of this, and I found the best way to counter it is by going phase rush to counter his Q slow and his ult chase. So you're gonna go. This was before Bramble got nerfed, so let me delete this and let me make it so it goes like this. Okay, you're gonna take D shield, and then you're gonna take Bramble, and then you're gonna take Frostfire, and then you're gonna take Zhonya's. I will explain later, but let me just explain the rune setup first. Okay, you're gonna go WQ because he has high HP. You're gonna go unflinching second wind because he slows you, and second wind because he pokes you with Q. Double armor because he cuts your armor with his Q, and attack speed just it's attack speed. Okay, you proc your autos faster, phase rush faster, whatever. You take Bammies again for your phase rush first, so you can proc your phase rush with a QW, and that's it. So when you get around level 6, Olaf cannot chase you down. So you would actually go plated steel caps as well after Bramble. And you take Zhonya's because Olaf's biggest counter in a team fight, the biggest counter Olaf has is Zhonya's. Because Olaf cannot keep his ult up if he has no targets to hit, if the targets are too far. But if you Zhonya's, he can't hit you and the ult disappears. And if you're the only front line, Olaf has no ult and you're invulnerable, and Zhonya's is actually really broken. So yeah, I fully recommend it. Plus, it gives you a bunch of armor, ability haste, and Frostfire. It's 100 HP, so it's not like you don't get tankier, because you do get tankier, and they get first in nature. And with phase rush, unflinching, second wind, first in nature, like all this shit, all this collecting, you are unkillable, and Olaf is useless. So yeah, it's really, really nice. This is how I've dealt with the new Olaf, and I have had like a 100% win rate. Like it's so nice. It is so nice. It's so fun. And at level 6, you can do an Ornn combo if he's low enough, but if he ults, you just run away. If he ults, you run. You instantly just like it. Ditch the ult, ditch the second ult, just abandon everything and run. Is the gist of it. Next matchup is Orianna. Orianna is even matchup. You don't stay near her ball because she can W or return into her face, and it will do damage when it passes through you. It's a farm lane. You take unflinching second wind because of her slows and the ult stun. Take double AD because you go QMax because she's ranged, and Spellbook because it's a very good utility rune. And yeah, she's immobile, so you can combo her pretty easily. She can't do anything about it, so yeah, easy matchup. Go next. Ornn. Okay, if you're doing an Ornn 1v1, may the best Ram win, alright? How this mirror matchup goes is you can cancel each other's brittles so they don't get the extra damage with your W's, or you can cancel each other's ults or E's. It's really fun. You can use the enemy Ornn's pillar for your E. The enemy Ornn can use your pillar for his E. Unfortunately, you cannot ult each other's ults, but that's Riot's fault. So yeah, it's basically who blocks the most brittles wins the matchup. You both should take armor and MR, second wind unflinching, because you both have a lot of slows and CCs. And your W has a knockback stun. You should both go Sunfire first in nature, and may the best Ram win, whoever does the best brittle combos and cancels the smartest Ram will win, okay? It's a fun mirror matchup. It's way more interactive than other mirror matchups, I feel like, because it's gonna be a long fight, and you have to make so little mistakes to win it. Alright, Pantheon matchup. This matchup, you're gonna fight a lot of Divine Thunderers, a lot of Black Cleavers. I would say this is a Q into W max matchup because he's melee. And Pantheon is kind of a champion that like you can probably grasp into bad Pantheons, but good Pantheons will space you really hard, so you won't be able to. They'll stun you. You're gonna go Wardens into Bammies, into Bramble, into Sunfire, into Thorman. You're gonna basically build every heal cut armor item. So you're gonna go Wardens, Bammies, and then you're gonna get 2 Cloths. And then you're gonna get Sunfire if you're ahead, or Frostfire if you're not ahead. So this is what the build path would look like. And you're gonna go AD double armor over Grill's second wind because Pantheon can proc bump laning really easily with just Q. He just stabs you. Just poke with QW and don't E in because he can also E your brittle and your E damage. So just poke him, and poke him, and poke him. That's legit the matchup. Punish his E cooldown when it's down because you can combo him after it's down. And yeah, that's the matchup. May the best Giga Chad champion win. I mean, just be careful of his full stack Q. It executes below 20% HP. So if you're low, he will one tap you. It doesn't matter how much armor you have. It's an execute. It will do a full penetration and you'll be done for. So that would be the matchup for Panth. I feel like it's Ornn favored. Like later in the game, like Ornn can just perma farm and he can, he has way more value than you. Than Pantheon in team fights. Ornn has way more value. As upgrade CC, Pantheon has like a 1 second stun on W, but like that's it. Okay, you can do some armor shred with Black Cleaver. You can tank a little with E, but you should win. Next matchup is Poppy matchup. Poppy matchup is a matchup that I hate because like you do nothing. Okay, her W denies your E and ult. And you're gonna take sorcery, transcendence, mana flow band, and you're gonna build tier. Yes, you heard it. You heard it from me. You're gonna build tier, Bammies, Brambles, Swifties, Frostfire, Fimbulwinter, only into Poppy. Because this is a boring matchup where you only farm. Okay, you can W her E, but like you can only poke her, but even the poke is meaningless because she does so much more damage. She heals with grasp and gets a big ass shield from her passive, and she pokes you from afar. She can EQ you under tower. Like the only way you can kill her is if she's bad. Okay, your only goal is survival and making sure that you scale harder than her. If you both go Fimbulwinter, then you both go coin flip the teams. Okay, you cannot kill Poppy. It's impossible. Okay, but with this build path, you should be fine. Just go Darn Shield, Tier, Bammies, Bramble, Swifties. Swifties helps with her Q, so you run away faster and she doesn't stay near you as much. But yeah, that is it. Next matchup is the Kiana matchup. Kiana, you take WQ, Exhaust CP, Grasp the Mark, Second Wind Overgrowth, Biscuits Magical Footwear, Attack Speed, Double Armor. You're gonna poke her and you're gonna go D-Shield, Wardens, Frostfire, and then random ends. Because into most assassins, Frozen Heart is meaningless. You're gonna poke her and trade her with her very hard, like level 1, because she has very shitty stats early on. You will take Sweeper, but like when the lane phase ends, because she will go in invisibility literally all the time. Okay, she is really annoying, but like the way you play this matchup is you just every time she uses W, you can go in and beat her up with QWE or just WE, like proc your grasp every time she uses W. Okay, because you're better at long trades, she is not. You win. You should win. And Exhaust makes sure that she doesn't one-shot your team, so yeah, it's good. Next matchup is Gwen. Gwen is an easy matchup. Ornn counters Gwen. Gwen doesn't have a combat ult, so her only choice is either roaming or going crack and LDR, but even then, she loses. You go Glacial Magical Flora, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight, Overgrowth Second Wind, double AD Armor, Wardens, Bammies, Frostfire, and then you take like Frozen Heart. It's an easy matchup. You can kill her pre-6, but she has to fuck up really hard. I would prefer you just play safe until you get level 6, and then you can do your QRER combo. If she E's you, I would prefer you run away and wait until she, or when she E's you, you could W, and then you can Q, and then you can E. You can W or E so you don't get knocked back. And she will take damage from it, and she will take the full W, because it doesn't get her that far. So, yeah. It's an easy matchup, you shouldn't struggle. When you're nearsighted, you can't really tell where she is, so I would actually take Sweeper. Because Sweeper tells you, in red if there are, enemies nearby you, and they will show. So you don't just hit blindly, right? You can do nothing else. That's the end of the matchup. It's very simple. Once you get ult, you can combo her, you can kill her, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Okay, she has no combat sum, so just ping her roams and be wary of her. Like, she gets really mobile when she gets, the passive on you. So stay away when she gets the passive, because she gets extra damage and extra movement speed. Next matchup is Renekton. I haven't seen much of Renekton, but you go W max, EQ, Ignite TP, go Grasp the Mage, Bomb Plating Overgrowth, Inspiration, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight, Attack Speed Double Armor, you go Bramblevest, Bammies, Plated Steel Caps, Sunfire. This is a very simple matchup. You poke him and you freeze the lane, and you use your Ignite as a heal cut. You win when you get Thornmail and Sunfire. When he gets Gorginger, he kind of gets hard to kill, but you're way more useful than Renekton. Renekton should never be a bother to you, so yeah. Easy matchup, just watch out for his Fury. Do not fight him when he's full Fury and when he has full Fury and ult. Just bait those out slowly, and you should be able to outscale him. Just stack armor and Sunfire and get a level 13. Just get your shit, Get your shit in order, and you win. So yeah, Renekton matchup, I feel like you cannot W his stun. I mean, you can, but like, you're still stunned. I mean, Renekton's stun is actually so low that I'd actually maybe consider going on flinching, but since Flinching got nerfed, I'm still gonna stick with Overgrowth. Since Overgrowth didn't get touched, but Flinching did, so there are some matchups where I switched these around. And I'll continue to do so until Riot fucking fixes their stupid fucking top lane meta. But yeah, this is what the build should look like. You're gonna give prio, you're gonna start D-shield, and yeah, this is how the lane should go. You're gonna QW every time he tries to walk up, and if he has E up, you don't go for your E because he will dodge your E and you'll waste mana. He won't. So yeah, next matchup, Rengar. Rengar is a cheese matchup, which you need to stay away from the bushes. You need to stay away from the fucking bushes because Magical Cat might fucking maul you. You go Ignite TP because his W healing is insane. And you go Demolish Condition and Overgrowth and you try and survive the lane, okay? You're gonna go D-Shield, Bramble, Bammy, Frostfire, Thornmail, and you're just gonna try and survive, okay? Just try and keep the wave on your side, like keep it at the tower, but keep it at like the edge, Sorry. So when he jumps, he won't be in range of you, but he will be in range of the wave. So the bushes are here, you'll be like right here. Like this is your tower, you'll be here and you'll stand like in this tiny corner, and where Rengar won't be able to catch you. So every time he jumps on a low minion, you're gonna Q preemptively to a minion that's slow, because you know that Rengar wants to farm from the bush and he will get poked. So you're gonna do that over and over and over until he's fucking gone. So you go Bramble, Bammy, Plated Steel Caps, and then you take Frostfire and your Thornmail and you're good. Okay, you shouldn't die. Riven matchup. Riven, I feel like Riven got cucked by their ability patch a little. You take Exhaust TP, WQ max, Grasp Demolish, Conditioning, Overgrowth. A good Riven will proc Bomb Plating, and the build path looks fucking scuffed as shit. But you go Cloth Refill, Ruby, Bammy, 3 Claws, Sunfire, Aegis. And then you finish Bramble Vest if she has Gore Drinker, Build Path, or you go Wardens into like Frozen Heart or Randuin's if she goes for like Black Cleaver, Build Path Rush first. So if she goes Gore Drinker, your build should look like Sunfire and Tabbies and Bramble. But if she goes for a Black Cleaver build, you'll go Wardens and Sunfire and Tabbies. So that's how the build will look like. Her level 1 is dangerous, so don't stay near her. Just try and space correctly from her. Punish when her E is down, because the Ornn combo is really hard to do when she has a lot of dashes. And yeah, try and survive and scale. That's the only advice I have. But you have to get really good at spacing. So yeah, that's the Riven matchup. You can punish her when, I mean, even if you try and do the Ornn combo, right? She will stun you and knock you up a lot, so you'll actually be stuck for most of the thing. Like, it's a very boring matchup. Like, you would think it would be like super, intense, but you both cancel each other's shit so much that both of you just end up doing nothing, except for farming, which is what happens most of the time. Which is why I go for this kind of setup. I go conditioning and overgrowth and armor and HP, because I'm not doing anything, because she isn't, so I am not. I'm waiting to punish, but she won't do anything, so we both just farm and we both scale. She tries to kill my team, I try to tank her team. That's how it goes. Rumble, you go WQ and you take Ignite EP, Grasp the Maul, second one unflinching, Inspiration, Biscuits, Magical Floor, attack speed, double or more. Rumble has a lot of high damage, so I go for like all the fucking like MR items in the game. I go Null Magic Mantle, Bammies, Negative Trunk Cloak, Mercs, and then I build another Null Magic Mantle. I basically try to stack so much MR that I can all in him from full without worrying about him doing like 600 damage with his Q. You have to watch out from when he gets a lot of heat, because when he gets a lot of heat, Rumble does a lot of damage with his Q and E. Okay, you have to hide behind minions from his E, and you have to wait his W, because his W gets a really big shield, which you can wait out, but I would only fight Rumble when he's low on heat, because he will do no damage. Not no damage, but he will do like less damage than he should. And yeah, you want to punish him when he's low in heat, or when his cooldowns are, done for. But this is what the build path should look like for Rumble. You do win when you get Frostfire. You can absolutely destroy him. And when you get First in Nature, it's not even a question at that point. But yeah, this is the build path. This is what it should look like. So yeah, good luck versus Rumble. He's a tough matchup early. Level 1, he's really strong. But the more game goes on, the tankier you get, the less you have to worry about him, and unflinching helps you kite him out. And yeah, next matchup is Rise. Rise is a terrorist of a champion. All right, Rise players, if you're facing one, they will try and bring their win rate down because their champion is so shit. They will take phase rush, so Glacial is bad. Take overgrowth, second win, Bammies, Frostfire. Do short trades and try and farm. Don't stay near minions, because he will EQ them, and when he EQs the minions, it will spread to you. So if you're near the minions, you will get hit, and if he puts the E on you and then Ws you, you get rooted. So EW is a root, and EQ is just a lot of damage, and it spreads to the others, and it resets his cooldowns. But short trades, you can get a good combo from like a bush. I would prefer you get a combo like sneaking up on him, because you're never gonna touch Rise like in the normal lane state. You can only cheese him. Like you both should end up even, but Rise is kind of useless, so you just kind of outscale him and he does nothing. Next matchup, Samira top. Samira top, you go WEQ max, because she's kind of melee. Like, she's not ranged. Okay, you go D-Shield, Bramble, Frostfire, and take Spellbook, overgo, second wind, attack speed, double armor. And the thing about Samira is she can cancel your ult and your Q with her W. So if you have ult up, try and get her to use W, because she will 100% cancel your ult, and it really sucks when it happens. So just trade with W only. Don't engage her on extended trades, and you should be fine. Next matchup, Sejuani. Well, you take Grasp the Monitor, second one unflinching, and instead of Sorcery, you're gonna take Precision. You're gonna take Presence of Mind, and you're gonna take Tenacity because she has a lot of stuns, and you are gonna struggle a lot. Because she can cancel your shit, she can cancel your brittles with the stuns, and when she gets first stacks, she gets 2 stacks from both W's, so I'm trying to step to the side. As soon as she W's, you step to the side. So you don't get 2 stacks of her E, and because when she gets 4, she can stun you and auto attack you for extra damage. It's kind of like a low budget Ornn, because she has brittles that do 10% magical max HP damage, when Ornn players get from like 12% to like 18, it scales. So yeah, so you can double your Q, it's a knockup. Don't let her get first stacks, and yeah, that's how you play the matchup. Next matchup is Seraphine mid. Seraphine mid is an even Q max, unflinching second wind, AD double MR, don't get poked out. There is no mechanic here. Like, you cannot W anything of hers. Like, root no. Just don't stay in her Q when it bounces twice because it does extra damage. Try and play with the jungle. She is a very heavy poke lane, but you should be fine, I feel like. I mean, you can get poked out, but you should never die in this lane, okay? It's a heavy poke matchup. Just look for plays with jungle or roam. That's it. Set is a WQ max, Grasp, Damage, Bone Plating, Overgrowth, Inspiration, Biscuits, Magical Forward, Attack Speed, double armor. You're gonna go D-Shield and Bramble because he heals a lot from Conqueror and his passive. Like, his passive healing is insane, especially when it's low. You're gonna go for short trades, and sidestep is W. Your W can cancel his E, so you can do that. Your W can also cancel his ult. You're gonna do the same thing that you do in a Mordekaiser matchup. You're gonna like ult, and then you're gonna W, and he's gonna ult nothing, and you're gonna get a brittle if you keep going on the trade. But it is worth it, other than getting just fucking set ulted. You want to start W level 1 because you want to W. He wants to E the wave, the 3 melee minions when they're low, and he wants to E you. But what you do is you W, so you get the 3 melee minions, and you get a brittle, and you don't get stunned. So yeah, that's the set matchup. Good set will shield the brittle proc. So if he has a lot of grit and you want to proc brittle, don't, because you're gonna get true damage. Then you're not even gonna damage him. Next matchup is Shaco top. Who the fuck would play this? No, just no. If you fight like a Shaco mid, like full AP, you go Grasp, Damage, second one unflinching, Cookies, Boots, Stack Speed, and more armor. He can't hurt you, so there's no point in me talking. Just don't turn your back to him, because he deals extra damage, and take a sweeper if he tries to do some random cheese bullshit. Like, it's just a fucking... I don't know why I even have this here, but I do. Next matchup, Shen. Shen is an even matchup. You go WQ max, Grasp, Demolish, Bump Plating, Unflinching, Mana Flow, Transcendence, Attack Speed, Armor, HP, Bammies, and some Fire Rush. He's much stronger than you before you have your ult, but he has no combat ult. So, but you want to be really careful early on because he can cheese you with Q. He can get level 1. He does a lot of damage. And yeah, you just want to let him have the lane for the first 5 levels. Because, you know, he's really strong. A lot higher damage than you. Way higher than you early on. And what he will do is when you QW and you try to proc the brittle, he will W. But instead of proccing W with your auto attack instantly, you're going to wait it out. You're going to proc it right at the end. You're going to precast it at the end and it's going to go off. Because Shen's W is not longer than Ornn's brittle, so only a bad Shen will he's gonna get W'd anyway. Like, what's the point, right? It's much better for him to block the autos beforehand, but you just wait out his W and you proc the brittle. It's an even matchup. Also, to cancel his ult, you don't need to E or ult yourself. You can just press Q on him, but you have to do it at the perfect distance. So when you Q Shen, instead of, you know, you knocking him up, he's just gonna get booped a little bit by your Q knockback when the pillar comes up, and it's gonna move him a little bit. So it's just gonna come up like this. You're gonna Q, and it's gonna come up like this, and it's gonna move Shen. So yeah, that's what you should be doing. Just keep Shen in lane, and you're gonna outscale him eventually. Just don't let him ult away. If he goes in Fog of War, just spam ping Shen ult, and you hope that your teammates listen that Shen is ulting. Because if he goes into Fog of War, then you can't cancel it. So, but if he does it under tower, then you can. Next matchup is Shyvana. Shyvana is a matchup that you go Grasp the Mark, second one in Overgrowth, Cookie Boots, attack speed and more armor. This is a matchup where like she goes tank, her ult denies your brittles because she's unstoppable, and she gets really tanky, a lot tankier than you. You don't have the damage to kill her, so you're just perma farming. I would say you'd go Sunfire, but if your team doesn't have damage, you go Sunfire. If your team does have damage to deal with her, you go Frostfire, because you just want to clear waves and farm. Alright? Because she cannot dive you or anything, you just perma farming. You want to make sure that you don't get procced by her PTA, because her PTA, she can proc it with auto Q, because her Q counts as 2 stacks of press the attack for some reason. I don't know why it does, but it does. So yeah, watch out for that. You go second wind with D-Shield, so you can handle the E-Poke, and she does mixed damage with her W's and auto attacks, so you take a MR and armor, and you should be fine. You're not really looking for solo kills, you're just looking to farm. But if the only time you get solo kills is if she walks up too much or tries to like limit this, but like the lane should end up like 1-0 max. Okay, nothing should happen here. Next matchup is Singed. Singed matchup is the only way he can kill you is if he flips you under tower. But what you can do is you can W his E, and you take second wind overgrowth, attack speed double MR, so he shouldn't deal damage to you. With second wind, Singed damage is negligible, so he really isn't a threat. What Singed can do though is he can make your ult grounded. So what I do into Singed, when I try and combo them, I QR and they don't usually ground the E. But if you don't have E and you can't do the whole Ornn brittle combo, you are gonna ult, and you're gonna do the ult flash ult thing. So you're gonna be flashing his grounded, and you'll be like in his face, and you'll proc the brittle and you'll kill him. So yeah, that's the Singed matchup. Nothing else here. If he ults, you run away because, he heal cuts you, so you won't be able to heal from D-Shield and second wind that much, or potions. So yeah, if he ults, you run away. And to let him burger flip you, he will do a tiny like animation to burger flip you, and he'll do a laugh. So watch out for that. Next matchup is Sion. Sion is a matchup where you go Grasp, Demolish, second wind unflinching, Precision, Tenacity, and Presence of Mind. Attack speed, armor, HP, you go D-Shield, Bammies, and you Sunfire and Swifties. You go AD if they have a lot of... You go Tabbies if they have a lot of AD. And you can Anathema Sion if you still struggle, but you shouldn't. Like, it's a Sion. Okay, you shouldn't really struggle to 1v1 him. Sion is pretty mediocre compared to Ornn. And this build path that you go, you have Regen, you have a lot of Tenacity, you shouldn't run out of mana. Into Sion, you can get level 1 prio really easily. You wanna auto Q his shield, so you break it and it doesn't, explode it. And his Q, you can W it, but don't W immediately when he Qs. W it in the middle. So even when Sion does the full cast, you'll be in his face Wing him. Like, don't start it too early, don't start it too late. Do it in the middle of Sion's Q cast. Because Sion won't be able to like stop it too early, because the only way Sion counters that is by either queuing too early, so it does very little damage, or queuing at full, so it does all the damage he can, but you'll be brittling him, so it's worth it, because your W and brittle does more damage than Sion's full Q. Which kind of sounds unfair, but it is how it is, You can also W his ult, so they don't get knocked up. And Sen did get nerfed with recent bug fixes on his old Q animation cancel, which I found it kind of like lame, but Riot just wants to shit on tanks for 0. I mean, it was a bug, so it wasn't intended, but yeah, this is what the build path should look like. You can kill Sion after you get like level 13, 12-ish, where you get Sunfire and the rest of your items, but before that, Sion's mid game is kind of stronger than yours. Next matchup is Skarner. How Skarner kills Ornn is by pulling you under tower, and that's it. You get Grasp the March, second wind unflinching, Mana Flurch and Sendits. I mean, I would actually take, again, into most tanks, you're going to take Precision, Tenacity, and Presence Mind, because most tanks, like most of the tanks you're going to be facing, have a lot of hard CC, and that's how Skarner, you know, relies on killing you. You're going to get D-Shield Mercs, Frostfire, Force of Nature. Don't let him pull you under the tower, and you'll be fine. Can't kill you anyway. He cannot kill you in any other way. My English is fucked, but I've been talking for like 3 hours so far, so yeah. Next matchup is Soraka. Soraka is a matchup that has heavy poke and you cannot kill her. But what I would do against Soraka is I would go D-Shield, I would go Ruby Crystal, Null Magic Mantle, Bammies, and then you get Executioners, because heal cuts got nerfed. Since in the early game they're not that great, but they're still useful later on. So you're gonna get the Executioner after you get all your defensive stats. Okay. So yeah, this is what the build path will look like into Soraka. You dodge her Q, and when you ult her, she will instantly silence you. So don't bother unless you're too far away from her where she can't E. You can only ult her if you're like at max range. Okay, that's the only way you can ult her. Swain. Against Swain, you're gonna go WQ, Spellbook. You're gonna take Magical Footwear, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight, Overgrowth Second Wind, Ability Haste Double MR, Doran Shield Bammies, No Magic Mantle, Mercs, Sunfire, and Force of Nature. You take Ignite because he heals a lot, and he's very oppressive in lane. His Z pulls you, so you can W it, so it doesn't pull you, and he gets stacks from it, so you know. That's not good as well. And his stacks give him AP and HP. So try and get hit by Z as little as possible. Try and stay like far away from him. And yeah, play with the Ignite. And you should be fine. Against Sylas, you're going to take Ignite TP. But again, Executioner got nerfed. So what you're going to do is you're going to take D-Shield first. Then you're going to take Bammies. And then you're going to take Null Magic Mantle. And then you're gonna take Executioner. This is the Vigor V2 tech, but starting longsword, like, it's really risky. You don't normally need it, but like, you go attack speed, AD, and MR. So your Q does damage, and you're gonna go WEQ max. So this is how it's gonna look like. Okay, you take WEQ max, and you basically have enough damage on your Q to bully him out, and you have D-Shield, so he can't bully you out, and then you get Bammy, so you get more wave clear, then you get No Magic Mantle, then you get Executioners, so he struggles even more, and the matchup just becomes more and more to your favor as it goes on. So yeah, you can W his E, and he can steal your ult, so watch out for that, because when he steals your ult, you can W your own ultimate. So he gets no brittle. So, I mean, you'll get only one brittle instead of 2. You can W his E as well. And every time he Qs, you want to step to the side because it'll pop again. And when it pops again, you will, in fact, get more damage, which you don't want. Because even though you have D-Shield, you can't ignore him. You can't ignore his poke. You have to step to the side. And basically, just play with your QW, trade, play with your Ignite, and you should be fine. Now, next matchup is the Syndra matchup. Syndra matchup is a boring matchup because you can't kill her because she can E everything you do. So you take Glacial and play with jungle, and you take Overgrowth Second Wind, WADMR, D-Shield, Bammies, Frostfire, Force of Nature, the usual gist versus mages. Dodge her Qs and punish when her E is down. When her E is down, you can ult and E her and knock her up and do all kinds of stuff, right? But you're gonna play with Glacialing and jungle ganks. That's pretty much the only way you kill her. And every time she has her E down. Next matchup is Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench is a rough matchup for Ornn. It's kind of one-sided because Tahm is so tanky and Ornn doesn't have the damage to kill. The only mechanic that Ornn can do against Tahm that's special, Ornn can W Tahm Kench's ult when he gets 3 stacks, and Ornn can also W Tahm Kench's W. But that's about it. You're gonna stay behind minions, you're gonna stand your ground in the minion wave so Tahm Kench doesn't heal off of you with Q. And if he ghosts at you or flashes at you and tries to eat you, you press W when he has 3 stacks, so he doesn't eat you and throw you into tower. That's where you should be wary. If he's 6 and he can run you down and he can throw you into tower, that's when you should be careful. Okay, we are almost done. Next matchup is Taliyah. Taliyah is an even matchup where the only mechanic you have is doubling her W so she doesn't throw you into her E where it does extra damage. You're gonna take Unflinching, second win, because she has a lot of slows. And you're gonna go D-Shield, Frostfire, Force of Nature. And your E can break a Taliyah's ult. So a really funny thing I've done is Taliyah's were ulting at my team and I eat the wall. And I caught Taliyah like mid-flight in the ult. And I broke the ult and I throw her up and my team murdered her. Which is really fun thing to do. It's rare, but you can eat her ult. It's insane. And then you can destroy player-made terrain. Those are the 2 interactions you can have between Taliyah, but you're gonna play with your Q, and you're gonna try and poke her out of the lane by staying behind minions and doubling her W so she doesn't get good trades. Against Talon, you're gonna go WEQ because he is melee, and you're gonna go D-Shield Wardens with Exhaust TP, and you're gonna take Second Wind, XP double armor, Frostfire Anduins. You can kill you level 2 with Ignite, so be careful of that. And yeah, that's legit the matchup. Just don't let him get 3 stacks of the bleed on you with W and Q, and exhaust him when he tries to do a combo on your teammates or on you. And when he's invisible, you can get a sweeper to, again, know when he's invisible. And yeah, it's a matchup that you shouldn't struggle against. Tanks naturally counter assassins. It's in the fucking laws of the universe. An assassin cannot kill a tank because he's meant to kill squishies. But not today, apparently, because I recently got killed by a Talon with fucking 2 items as a full tank. So who cares at this point? But like, this is the build path you go. This is what you do. Don't let him get 3 stacks. You should be fine. Ping his roams and combo him when he tries to literally interact with you. Next matchup is Tarek. Against Tarek, you're gonna go full scaling. It's a scale of farm and AFK lane. Most Tareks, what they will do is they will take phase rush. They will try to survive and lane in the early game, and then as soon as they get 6, they're gonna perma roam, and they're gonna be a pain in the ass. You cannot match their roams, so yeah, just farm as much as you can and try and get towers. It's like an enchanter top, but worse. So yeah, good luck with that. He doesn't have any damage, so he can't kill you, but you just go Ruby Bammies, Sunfire, and just try and perma split and try and get as ahead as you can. So next matchup would be Teemo matchup. Teemo matchup is a QMax matchup because he is ranged and he will take Unflinching and Swifties, and he'll be very annoying. We're gonna take if you struggle, you can take 1 AD and 2 MR. If you don't struggle, you take double AD and MR. I mean, you shouldn't be able to struggle into Teemo. It's a skill matchup or a win matchup because the Teemo has to play completely perfectly to survive. Like, you farm till 6 and then you get your combat sum. You get your combat. Well, you do get your combat sum. You get your ignite with spellbook, and you also get your ultimate, and you get sweeper as well for Teemo shrooms. And this all depends on hitting your Qs. If you don't hit your Q, Teemo doesn't die, you lose. If you hit your Q, Teemo dies, you win. And you outscale as well. Like, Teemo doesn't really, Teemo does not outscale Ornn. Ornn has way more value than Teemo. Teemo has shrooms and a blind. And Ornn has 3 knockups, okay? And item upgrades. Tell me who outscales who here, okay? Just hit your Qs, focus on CSing as much as you can, and getting sweeper for his shrooms, and just playing for your team. Next matchup is Tristana. Tristana is a QMax matchup. It's a very lame one. You got Warden's Frozen Heart Frostfire because she relies only on her auto attacks to do damage, as most AD carries do. You go Overgrowth Second Wind. You have to be very careful of her level 1 because she can take like Hail of Blades and melt you, or PTA and melt you with her E and W. So you have to give prio and just perma farm like that. You can combo her only after she uses W, and if you are gonna ult her, do not stay near her because she will ult you away. Her ult pushes you away. She shoots a gigantic cannon that pushes you away and does magic damage. So if you are gonna ult her, make sure you stay away from her range. So you do the Ornn horn, right? The ram starts coming, you stab back. As soon as the ram comes, you hit it, and Tristana gets knocked up. But if she has W up, she can actually W the knockup and still travel where she wants to, because it's a weird interaction that Tristana has. She's kind of unstoppable during her W, like after she casts it. Like if you see her during the cast, like when she's mid-air, you can stop her then, but like at the beginning of the cast, she's unstoppable. Next matchup is Trundle. Trundle is a skill matchup. You go bomb plating on flinching because he slows you with Q and E, and you're not gonna go D-Shield Brambler, you're gonna go D-Shield 2 Cloths. Then you're gonna get Bammy Cinder, and you're gonna finish the Bramble when he gets either some sort of healing, like he can get a Bork or he can get Divine. That's when you build the Bramble. Avoid attacking him level 1 and save your E to break his pillar, because you know if you use your E, he will pillar you and run you down. But if you save your E, he can't pillar you and he can't slow you, he can't catch up to you, and he will lose trades. And you take exhaust TP because you can exhaust him when he ults you, so it does less damage. Yeah. Next matchup is Tryndamere. Tryndamere is a skill matchup that's kind of heavily Tryndamere favored, but you take exhaust TP, Grasp, Demolish, Bomb Playing, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight, Attack Speed, Armor, and HP. You're gonna go Wardens, Class Refill, Wardens, Steel Caps, Randuins, Frostfire, Anathema. You just farm and freeze waves and let Tryndamere never come near you. That's the whole lane. The Steel Caps have loops with spacing, so you should be fine. Like, the only way you can ever lose to Tryndamere is if you walk up too far, or if Tryndamere like does a full all-in on you when you have your E down, but you should be relatively safe with this setup. And don't fight level 1 because he has lethal tempo and he's really strong with it, and he has a lot of sustain, so poke him only with Grasp and W. So you save your mana and you should be fine. Okay, next matchup is TF. Twisted Fate, you go Spellbook, Magical Forward, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight. You go Unflinching because of his stuns and slows from W, and Second Wind, and he'll also take Everfrost. So Unflinching is even better. You take Magic Resist Armor, and don't get poked a lot. Do short trades, ping roams. Like, it's an easy matchup. Q max it up, and you should be fine. Yeah. I mean, TF is just it's a utility. You are also a utility, so may the best utility win. I mean, you should generally win if he doesn't get a lot of good roams off, but roaming is part of TF's kit, and Ornn isn't really good with that, so you want to try and keep him locked in lane. It's like a mage Shen, you know? Except he doesn't have a fucking... He can go anywhere. Shen doesn't have to go to teammates, and he gets vision, and he has a stun, and he has Everfrost. But yeah, it's an alright matchup. Like, the 1v1 wise, like, Ornn should win always. He has no way of stopping Ornn from Ornn combo, triple brittle, murdering him. Urgot matchup is Ornn favorite matchup. You go Q max because Urgot is too fat to dodge it. You go double AD and armor. Go Warden, spammy Sunfire, Steel Caps, and then you take a Randuins. Short trades only, and you can W his Z, and you focus on just poking him with Qs, and you should win the lane. He can E your E, so if you E towards him and he also presses E, he will not get knocked up, and he will burger flip you, but be careful of that. But you should be fine. This is an easy matchup. As long as you max Q and you grasp properly, you should be okay. Vayne matchup. Vayne matchup is, I would say it's a skill matchup, okay? The better player will win. You go Q max because she's ranged and you get Ignite Teleport with Glacial. This allows for you to have enough damage to always kill Vayne. You go double AD armor, or again, if you're not comfortable, you can take 1 AD and double armor because you're going Q max. And you go D Shield, Frozen Heart, play the Steel Caps, Frostfire, and then you take a Thornmail. You won't have kill potential until level 6 where you get your ult. You want to punish her every time she Qs. You want to keep Vayne's Q like cooldown like ingrained in your head. Okay? Every time Vayne Qs, you want to have like Vayne Q'd. I must punish, must punish, must punish, must punish. Must peanut butter combo. Peanut butter, bread and butter combo. Must kill her every time she uses Q. You can W her E, and you will know when Vayne will E, because Vayne will usually E you when she's next to a wall, so it's pretty predictable. So yeah, it's a skill matchup. And people who say it's a counter matchup are liars and bad Ornn players. And if you lose or get solo killed, it's your fault, okay? It's not the matchup, it's not anything, okay? You just missed your shit and died. Next matchup is Veigar. Veigar goes QWE because he's range matchup. You get like flinching because of Everfrost and his cage. You want to be careful of his cage because it can stop your ult. If you take Merc Treads and flinching, you can just step out of his cage rather than sitting in it. Because, you know, the stun, it doesn't matter to you. Veigar won't focus you, okay? But yeah, you go and take Ruby, no magic mantle, Frostfire, Force of Nature, and Veigar will never do damage to you. You just want to make sure that if you are going to combo him, you use your flash, okay? Using your flash, you're going to Q R, flash R, then you're going to E, and then you're going to auto attack W, and he will have no way to escape from it, because even if he cages you, he can't cage the flash. So yeah. Look for all-ins with ult. He has no mobility. Should be an easy matchup. Its next matchup is Vel'Koz. It's kind of the same thing as Veigar. I'm flinching second one, double ADMR. Do the same thing. Don't get hit by his 3-part passive. Flash your ult. Always look for all-ins. Always look to play with jungle. And Vel'Koz should never, ever, ever live versus you, because he has no escape from your ult. Stay behind minions. So he either has to Q from like behind you or something, or have to go at an angle, and don't get hit by the 3-part passive because it does flat true damage. Vex. Vex is a matchup where you go Glacial, Magical Forward, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight, Unflinching Second Wind, double ADMR, Ruby Crystal, no Magic Mantle, Frostfire, Force of Nature, dodge her Q. Because it has a pretty long cast, it goes slow, then it goes really fast, and and her W is a shield which stops dashes. That includes your ult dash and your E dash. She will probably use it for the E dash the most because it's the longest one. And yeah, her W is a big shield which you can break because Vex is quite squishy. She's very easily comboable. And her fear doesn't last too long. It's a very nice champion that is fair. And if you die to Vex as Ornn, it's kind of like impossible because you are way too tanky. But the general rundown is you Q her, you ult her, then after you knock her up, you E her, and then you W her. Like, it's really, really, really simple matchup. Next matchup is Vi. Vi top is a matchup that relies around Divine Thunderer and D poking. So you take D shield and double armor with attack speed, Biscuit Boots, Grasp. You go Frostfire Thornmail for the Divine, and you can W her Q, and you can also W her ultimate. So yeah, you can W 2 things. She won't knock you up. And it's a matchup that Ornn should win. But a good Vi maybe can live, but no. Honestly, it just don't win matchup. Like, Vi is a shit champion. Like, Vi is a very simple champion. Ornn is not. So, Ornn wins. Almost all the time. Next matchup is Viego. Viego top is kind of a dead pick, but you take Ignite TP to counter his healing. You go D-Shield, Bramble, and Bamis, and Sunfire, and Thornmail. And you stat check him. You can W his... you can W his W, so if he W's you, you can also do damage while he's doing damage to you. And he can ult your Brittles or your knockups, so be careful of that. And by ulting your knockups, that means that you'll do less damage with your ult and your Brittle, because they won't proc. But they will disappear, but they will not proc the damage. So yeah, be careful of that. Be careful when he gets the Bork Rush, and you should be fine with a second wind and D-Shield. He shouldn't poke you out that much. And with Ignite, he should be more easily killable. Next matchup is Victor. Victor is a straight up Q-Max. Like, it's a boring farm lane because Victor doesn't really have any lane killing potential. You go Glacial because he has no mobility, overgrowth. Actually, you take Unflinching into Victor because he has a lot of slows. And you can go... I mean, he's gonna go Landry's if it's into Ornn, but he might go Everfrost if there's like a lot of assassins in your team. And when he Qs, you have to wait for the shield to drop. And do not stay still when he ults you. Play around the, bushes. I mean, that's a thing that you do against most range champs. But farm from bushes. Sidestep his E. Don't let him get... After he Qs, his next auto attack will do bonus damage. So don't let him do that. And yeah, you should be fine. Victor shouldn't really kill you. If he ults you, you instantly away. You should look for Ornn Brittle combos, triple Brittles. And yeah, that's the general gist of the Victor matchup. Next up is Vlad matchup. Vlad matchup is a counter matchup where you take Ignite, Teleport, and Spellbook. And you're going to take AD because to make your magic, your Q do more damage. Because this lane relies around him sustaining your poke. You're gonna go D-Shield Bammies, and then you're gonna get Executioners, and then you're gonna get Frostfire. Okay? Vlad is a hard matchup that you can only kill if he pulls. If he pulls after 6 and you have your ult up, you instantly want to ult him. Like, no matter what, you want to ult him after he pulls. Okay? You want to bait his pull out, and you want to walk away from him when he gets full stacks. Or a full red bar. When he gets a full red bar, that means his Q on champions will heal for a lot and do a lot of damage. So you want to run away. You want to try and run him down and be super aggressive. And you go W max because he gets a lot of health because his AP converts into HP. So that's how the matchup should go for you. Just don't die. The lane shouldn't end 0-0, but you can manage his healing and stuff with Ignite and Executioner, so it's an okay matchup. It used to be a very hard counter, but like it's still very bad, but it's doable. Volibear. I haven't fought Volibear, but I would assume it's a win matchup because Volibear has been nerfed so many times that no matter what Volibear does, he can't reach you. And if you play with short trades only, you should always be able to come up on top. You can ult your ult. That's the only thing you should watch out for. And every time you trade into him, you want to stream like Darius, you QW and you E away when he tries to run at you, and you should be fine. As long as you get Sunfire and Thornmail, he can never 1v1 you. Even if he has Divine and Black Cleaver, he can never keep up with Ornn's damage and tankiness. You want to take attack speed, armor, MR because he deals mixed damage, and yeah. Always kite him, short trades, don't let him get a second W off. And when he Qs and tries to EU, you instantly E away. Next matchup is Warwick. Warwick is a matchup that after the durability patch, heal cuts became a lot shitter. So you can do either Thornmail or Anathema Rush. I would prefer Anathema, I think would work more consistently, because you would CC him for a lot longer. So I think Anathema to Sunfire is the more right build path. But if they have a lot more healing that's next to Warwick, like if they have Yasuo and Kayn, or yeah, Yasuo and Kayn, or like Samira. Thornmail Rush is also good. You can go either one. They're both good into Warwick. You go Ruby 2-pot because the shield is useless, and try and fully scale and survive the lane. Okay, hitting Warwick is completely pointless. Okay, you're playing for the late game. You're playing to make Warwick useless. That's what you want. You want to make Warwick have as much of a hard time dealing with your team and you. You don't want to die. Killing him is impossible because it goes Flash Barrier, and Flash Barrier just makes Warwick completely immune to literally anything you do. You kill him? No. You poke him? No. Do you do anything to him? No. Okay, you're farming, you're playing for the late game, you're playing to make him weaker towards your team. Jesus fucking Christ, my voice is dying. Next matchup is Warwick and Wukong Xerath. Okay. Wukong is a win matchup. You go WQ, you go Grasp, Demolish, Bone Plating, Overgrowth, Inspiration, Biscuits, Magical Footwear, Attack Speed, Double Armor. You go Bramble, Bammies, Sunfire, Thornmail. You're gonna avoid level 1 trading for a long time against Wukong because he does win. The only time you win is by fighting in the wave. If you fight in the wave, you're good. Okay? You fight in the wave, you're good. You can win it with Grasp and Bone Plating. But after that, you stop the trade, you end it. You only trade with QWE. And after he gets ult, he can all in you and win from 100 to 0. So you're gonna be careful from that. How you want to trade with Wukong is if you ult him, you're gonna walk back because he's gonna try and knock you up. All right. You are way more useful than him later in the game, but he can still be scary with Divine and Black Cleaver and Death Dance and Maw. So don't underestimate Wukong. It might seem like an easy matchup, but there are places where you can fuck up. You can also take Ignite TP if you want, but I don't prefer it. I mean, I haven't struggled into Wukong. If you do struggle, you can take Ignite TP. Plus, you can tell which is the clone. If you like ignite him before a fight starts, you'll tell that the clone is not him because the clone is not ignited while you actually did ignite the guy. So yeah, this is how the matchup should go pretty even-ish, but everything that goes even-ish for Ornn is good because Ornn is Ornn. Ornn outscales everyone. Ornn is the best player. Ornn is the best character. Lore, design, he's overpowered. He's great. So avoid fighting level 1 and at level 6. When you get your Bramble and Bammies, you can start beating the shit out of him. You just play with your QWE, short trades, just as you would in any other, bruiser matchup. The next matchup is Xerath. Xerath is a QMax matchup because of how he functions and how he has so much range. You're going to take Unflinching second win because of the E-stun and his doubly slow. You're going to take double ADMR. You're going to take D-Shield, the Ruby Crystal, Null Magic Mantle, Frostfire, Force of Nature. It's a dodgeball matchup. I like how I've written here because that's literally it. Xerath is dodging your Qs, you're dodging Xerath's Qs. But Xerath is low mobility. So if you just instantly ult him, he can't dash away from it and he has to blow flash. So that is really good thing to do. Because a Xerath with no flash is a dead Xerath. Because as soon as you get 6, instantly ult him. No matter what, just ult him. He can't get away from you because you have Glacial as well. So when you ult him from far, he can't run because he's slowed. So yeah, it's a Ruby Crystal, Null Magic Mantle, Frostfire, Force of Nature. I mean, you don't need Force of Nature, but if they have a lot of AP, you go it. Okay? If you struggle, if you're still laning versus Xerath at 2 items, which you shouldn't, but like if you are, you go Force of Nature, and mages are not a threat. I mean, Xerath isn't really a good anti-tank. He just blows up squishies with ult. But blow his flash and fuck him up every time you have ult. Next matchup is Yasuo. Yasuo is a Grasp of the Maw second wind matchup, where you go same shit about Yasuo and Yon. They function the same. You go Warden, Spammies, Frozen Heart because Frozen Heart fucks them, and then you can go Frostfire if you're not 1v1ing them, and Sunfire if you are. Yasuo's Wind Wall completely negates your ult, so don't use ult unless he uses Wind Wall. Try to not leash early game so you get Prio level 1, but due to lethal tempo, he wins anyway, so let him push into you because he's gonna get level 2 and he's gonna dash all over the place and beat you up. So just play with Wardens, try and trade with W, okay? Don't do anything fancy. You can't Ornn triple brittle combo because he will just Wind Wall instantly. and wind wall stays up for a lot of seconds. So even if you ult at like the mid cast of wind wall will still be up by the time you cast ult. So trade with brittle, you should be fine. Okay, do not int into Yasuo. Just wardens, bammies, frozen heart, crossfire. That should be your build path. You should be good. Yone matchup. Yone is a lot harder than Yasuo to fight because of Yone's damage output, and you go bone plating into Yone because bone plating counts for Yone's W twice. It blocks both damages if he all-ins you, and the only way Ornn beats Yone is by all-inning him. So you want to play with your bone plating when it comes up on cooldown. And you can W his Q3. So you can start W if the enemy Yone starts Q, which they always will. I mean, it's obvious that they will start Q. So you can W his Q3 and get a brittle off. And you want to play with your grasps and you want to try and scale, okay? What Yones will do is when you W them, they will instantly E back. But what you want to do is you want to E and then E near a wall. When Yone E's and tries to run you down, you're going to stay near a wall and you're going to E the wall, right? So Yone will stay knocked up and he will be unable to return. He will be spamming E, but he won't actually be able to come back, and you can actually brittle him and get a good trade off. So stay near walls like a Jacques, respect him, W his Q3, and when he ults you, and if you have W up, you have to W backwards, because Yone, when you're facing him, he will end up right behind you. So what you do is you W from this side. So when you W from this side, you'll hit Yone right here, and you'll get a brittle, and you'll get a good trade. Not trade, but you might even kill him. And if he has his E down, and Q3's towards you, you can do the Ornn brittle combo. If his E is down and Q3's towards you. Next matchup, Yorick. Yorick is a matchup that is really annoying. Really fucking annoying. You go grasp the 1 second win for the E poke. The main thing about Yorick is sidestepping his E and saving Yori for his cage. Because you can E his cage and knock up his ghouls and himself. So you save your E to break his cage, and you dodge his ability that casts, it does magic damage and makes his ghouls target you. When he gets his maiden, you don't want to fight him. You do not want to fight him unless he's on your side. Okay, you want to slowly chip him down. Okay, it's not worth hitting the maiden. As Ornn, you never hit the maiden. Okay, you don't have damage to kill the maiden, because then Yorick would just kill you. You go Anathema into Yorick. I feel like you go Bramble if he goes Divine, but Anathema just reduces his damage by so much, but he also gets Divine, so the build path will look something like this. So you get Anathema, Thornmail, and Frostfire or Sunfire. Sunfire if you're ahead, Frostfire if you're not ahead. Next matchup is Yuumi. Bro, get some bitches. How do you lose to Yuumi? Yeah, how the fuck would you lose to Yuumi? I mean, you go Spellbook and kill Yuumi. Well, bro. Do I even need to say anything? Zac matchup. Zac, you go Grasp Demolish, Conditioning Overgrowth, Mana Flow Transcendence. All of his CC is knockups, so you should never worry about it. And you should go Sunfire into Zac because of how much he heals, not Frostfire. And yeah, it's an easy matchup. You can W his Q, his E, and his ult. So, but the most important one is his Q, because he'll pull you towards him and then he'll E you. So it's like a true combo. You're gonna take double MR because he's magic damage champion, and you're gonna take Ignite TP into Zac because he heals so much. Next matchup is Zed. Zed is a matchup that, I mean, you shouldn't lose. You take AD double armor, and you go Q-Max, because like Zed will only poke you, so the only way you trade with Zed is you poke him. He's quite squishy, so you go Wardens, Frostfire, Randuin's, and you take Exhaust for his ult. And every Zed player will hate you, but it doesn't matter. When he W's you, honestly, he's gonna E and then Q like this, So he's gonna put his W here. He's gonna Q like this. So what I would suggest is walk towards Zed. Do not walk away from him if he Ws. Walk towards him, because you're gonna get hit by 2 Qs regardless. So if you're gonna get hit by 2 Qs, you might as well get some damage in as well. So Zed won't expect you to be so overly aggressive. So that's what I would do. And when he ults you, you want to exhaust him like at the end-ish, or when he starts throwing his spells out, so it won't do that much damage. And you want to ult him after he ults, because if you ult when he has ult, he will dodge your whole thing, so no point. Or ult from far away, either ult from far away or ult when he ults, or when he tries to run away, or when he's becoming a bitch. And if he has shadows up in the ult, try to predict him that he will move to the shadows, because he most likely will. Okay, a Zed player that doesn't move to the shadows, I mean, will probably be a challenger Zed that knows what the fuck he's doing and he's playing mind games. Okay, 4 more matchups to go. Zeri is a QWE max because Zeri is ranged and she doesn't poke that much and you can't kill her. She has way too much mobility. You go D-Shield, Frostfire, Anathema, Frozen Heart. You go double AD and armor and poke her with Q and play around her dash. Okay, you try and combo her if her dash is down, but you'll never kill her. Okay, Azeri is super hard to kill, especially as Ornn, due to how much sustain. Well, she will go cull, but due to how much mobility she has, like, it is not fair how mobile she is compared to Ornn. Like, you cannot catch her. It's impossible. You just have to play safe. And she can W your pillar, and then a big beam will appear that will do magic damage. So that is also pretty terrible for you. So watch out for that. She can Bard Portal over walls. Her ult deals magic damage as well, and she will try and run you down. Don't let it get to full stacks, or else she just gets faster and faster. And yeah, play safe, overgrowth conditioning. I would not say double AD armor. I would say AD and armor and HP, because to help you scale more. But yeah, that would be the Zeri matchup. Just poke her. She will Bard Portal everywhere. Don't even bother trading with her, honestly. Ziggs matchup is a matchup that you go Spellbook, Magical Forward, Biscuits, Cosmic Insight, Overgrowth, Second Wind. You take double ADMR if you struggle, 1 AD you take double AD if you don't struggle, 1 AD if you don't. If you do. I cannot speak English, but that's fine. You take D-Shield, Ruby Crystal, Null Magic Man, Frostfire. The only interaction you can ever have with Ziggs is you can W his W, so he won't move you. But he's low mobility, so you can combo him anytime you want. He's very easy to win, very easy to punish, but he pushes really hard, which is, you know, the main thing that ruins you. The pushing is, so you have to match his push. Every time he pushes to you, you push back. Push back. It becomes like a bounce, and you kind of coin flip. Whether you go bot lane or roam or do something with jungle. Because in mid lane, you're never solo killing, and if you do, it doesn't matter because you're a tank and he's a mage, so who cares? Next matchup is Zilean. Zilean is really annoying, especially in top lane. You need them flinching a second wind to survive. You take D-Shield, Frostfire, Force of Nature, and Glacial because Zilean has no dashes. He only has speed boost, and if his speed boost is reduced in range by either your ultimate knockup into Glacial or E-knockup into Glacial, it'll be easier to gank. And the only time you kill him is when you get Frostfire, is when you get more slowed, more catch. And yeah. And what you want to do against Zilean is he will E you, and then he will double bomb you, right? But when he double bombs you, you want to make sure to walk towards him instead of walking away. So when Zilean tries to double bomb you, both of them will miss because he will assume he's going to run away, right? But you do the opposite of what you think he's going to do. You walk towards him, and you at least only get hit by 1 bomb instead of 2. So just farm and poke with Q, walk into him when he Qs you. If he has ult up, I would honestly leave him alive because the ult heals him if you kill him. So yeah. And the last matchup, Zoe. Fuck Zoe. Zoe's a Q-max matchup because she's ranged. You take Overgrowth, Second Wind. Your W stops her E drowsy, so that's good. And if you ult her, she cannot get away. She can ult and maybe dodge the first part, but she will not dodge the second part of the ram. So you can triple barrel combo her. It should not be a bother. Just be careful of what items she picks up with her W, because she does a lot of damage with auto attacks. So yeah, TLDR, be careful of how you time your ult when she ults, because she will hop in one place but she will return again. So she can like flash for like 1 second, but she'll come back to where she first started with her ult. Stay behind minions so she can hit you with Q. It has a small AoE, so stay behind minions, but like keep a little distance so you don't get hit by the AoE and or the E. So the Q and the E cannot go through minions, so you should be fine. So that's it. That was the fucking Ornn matchup sheet. I want to fucking... Yeah. So I hope this was helpful. This took way longer than it needed to, but I hope this explained every matchup in existence. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.